Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth. Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment. The Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on the midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song in the old neighborhood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to another edition of the Afridamus Report. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. So as you guys can see, today, the topic, we are going all the way to the Horn of Africa. And, you know, we've had previous conversations about the position of Somalia. Is Somalia, in fact, an African country? The Somalis play in Africa. But, you know, we have a lot of discussions to have today about this position. And also Egypt, because, you know, Africans like to claim that Egypt is Arab and African at the same time. So Somalia also is in that position. So today you would see that Somalia runs, the Somalian president runs to his Arab brothers against Ethiopia. So Somalia formed an anti-Ethiopian campaign against Ethiopia because Somalia, their president, according to him, and Somalians, they are worried about getting annexed, meaning being colonized by Ethiopia. So, I mean, you can understand their fear, because right now, can Somalia fight Ethiopia militarily? They don't have the capability, they don't have the money, the logistics, they cannot do it. Somalia is divided, because I'm sure some of you have heard of Somaliland. So Somaliland, you know, is a breakaway state from Somalia, because you see, Somaliland, they are claiming that they were a separate region from this greater Somalia, but the colonialists brought them together. So, you know, the first civil war, the civil war that continued till now, prior to that, Somalia had a dictator in the name of Siad Barre. And Siad Barre committed lots of, you know, atrocities, you know, against all Somalians, pretty much, different clans. But the Somaliland people are saying that, look, this union here, we've tried it. The white people forced us together. No, thank you, goodbye. You know, there's somebody from Mogadishu area, from you guys' region that oppressed us, we are going to be independent. So technically, in a way, Somaliland, for the most part, you could say they are independent because they have their own currency, they have their own leader, but there is a, a Somali president who see themselves as the Federation of Somalia. This is the one in the Arab League. So Somaliland now strikes a deal with Ethiopia. Ethiopia, which is an African country. They are only in African organizations. So I want to make a qualifier here because I know Somalians, some of you might come and try to make the argument that no, we are Africans, but let's just go by what the politics is. So as we stand, as it is, Somalia is an Arab nation amongst Africans. So you see, that's a big problem because Ethiopia, that is unquestionably an African nation, and Somaliland also sees themselves as an African nation. As you guys know, Somalia has the longest coastline in Africa. So this is about water. Egypt, which is an Arab nation, no questions about it. Egypt has a problem with Ethiopia, about Ethiopia building the dam. So Egypt wants to flex its muscle. Egypt, they have this president Al-Sisi who, he doesn't mince his words. He is a proud Arab and he doesn't hide that. And he is the one that told us Somalians are Arabs too. You see? So Al-Sisi, who has an issue with Ethiopia. I mean, this was ongoing, is still ongoing. Mind you, both of these countries were invited into the BRICS. They are BRICS members. You would think these countries would come together, but that's not what's going on because you guys remember, I touched on the BRICS summit here. I broke it down. I said, you see, Egypt and Ethiopia, look at the representatives, like the presidents, they don't look like, it's like they're like, hey guys, let's just do this for the camera. But there is lots of animosity, and which is shown here. I will show the videos where the Egyptian president is threatening Ethiopia. So Somalian president ran to Egypt, you see, because Ethiopia struck a deal with Somaliland. Somalia has no problem with Somaliland existing, but now that Somaliland wants to make a deal with Ethiopia, they signed a deal where Ethiopia is going to have control, like have a seaport in Somaliland. So Somalia is like, nah, man, you guys are trying to, annex us. You're trying to colonize us. So the Somalis are paranoid about Ethiopia colonizing them because I guess, they didn't forget the Ogaden wars. Even in the past, Ethiopia have shown interest in colonizing Somalia. Let's not even, mince words about that. Why would it make sense for Ethiopia to colonize Somalia? I'm about to tell you that. The place is fragmented, is destabilized. The federal, like Somalia, different from Somaliland. Somalia doesn't even have total control over Somalia to begin with. This is why Somaliland was able to make this deal. So Ethiopia is a landlocked country. Because Ethiopia made the mistake of giving away Eritrea to what we call Eritrea today. So that would have been their seaport, but no, obviously you guys knew, man. Eritrea they fought, they went to war with Ethiopia for many, many, many years. So not long ago, we all saw if you were following what's going on in the Horn, they said Ethiopia and Eritrea finally together as brothers and sisters. There's peace. Prime Minister Abiy and Afwerki, the leader of Eritrea, they shook hand, and there's pictures all over. So we're like, yay, Eritrea and Ethiopia are finally together. That's what you would think. But no, now that Somalia is worried, the president ran to Egypt, to Al-Sisi. It's like, look, Ethiopia, right now, they just signed this, they're trying to put a deal together with Somaliland. And, that would give them more leverage, because you guys are engaged in this water war. Since they are a landlocked, there's no way they're getting Eritrea. So they want this seaport. And we cannot take them on militarily. Al-Sisi is like, don't worry, I got this. And you would hear this in the way he gave the speech. I'm just giving you, like, if common sense, you put two and two together, can't you see them talking like that? Because Al-Sisi is very, very upset at Ethiopia. How dare Ethiopia challenge Egypt? So the guy is still holding grudge. Eritrea, you would think, would wanna, you know, uh, side with Ethiopia. No, that's not what's happening. Eritrea, in fact, is standing with Somalia. Eritrea, Djibouti, they're all standing with Somalia. So Somalia have succeeded in forming an anti-Ethiopian coalition against Ethiopia. You notice in all this, there's no black African country. Every now and again, you would hear, Kenya on the side. But now Somalia, that would mean Somalia is an Arab state. Ethiopia is an African state. Eritrea, I think they are African, but why is Eritrea supporting an Arab state? Look at it from that point of view. I'm sure some of you would try to come and say, we are, Africans. Not on paper. Not on paper. Not on paper. So what is the African Union saying in all this? Because now you have an Arab country in the name of Somalia cutting off sea access to an African country, Ethiopia. And now you have, the largest Arab nation, Egypt, threatening Ethiopia. Let me show you what is happening here. And trust me, Ethiopia doesn't look like its history is, when it comes to its neighbors. Like, Eritrea still is holding grudge against Ethiopia. This situation proved it. So all that smile, the Eritreans, they still are holding a grudge. See, when the time came to stick it to Ethiopia, they wasted no time. Imagine that. So the Somali president, he has no shame in his game, running out there. He's like, yo, you notice he didn't go to one black African country, not a single black African country. So we should ask the question. Is Somalia an Arab country or an African country? So they ran to their, Arab counterparts. Here we go. Let me give you a short clip, to get you up to date, to understand what is happening, in the Horn of Africa. Here we go.
As of now, I'm speaking to you, there are senior military officers in Somaliland preparing the ground for Ethiopia to go in. Ethiopia may go, send its forces to Somalia, as it did in the past, but the end has always been very clear. Whenever Ethiopia sends its force forcefully and illegally to Somalia, we know the consequences. And I don't think that Ethiopia was happy with those past consequences and will not be happy with it. This is
So the Somalian president here, you could hear him talking tough, right? Saying this is our country. He said as they speak, Ethiopians are preparing to enter Somalia. This was back in January. So mind you, they already have Ethiopian forces, one through the mandate of the AU and even, agreement between Somalia and Ethiopia. They have Ethiopian forces there, to maintain peace in Somalia. So I think the light bulb is going off in the Somali president's head, like, okay, here is Ethiopia signing with Somaliland. This is going to make Somaliland legit because no country recognizes Somaliland yet. So, and in this global game, if they recognize Somaliland, because when countries they recognize a country as a country, they can't take it back. So Ethiopia, even though they did not openly, announce, no, they did say what the deal is. Apparently, this is what they are telling us, the world, that Somaliland as a nation wants a stake in Ethiopian airline because the Ethiopian airline is generating lots of profit these days. But look, something tells me no, because Somaliland wants to be recognized. They already have their own currency. So all it takes is one country to recognize them as their own sovereign nation. Is a done deal. So this is why the Somali president is panicking, making it sound like, look, the Ethiopians are ready to roll in, and he knows, I mean, if they choose to do it, they can't stop the Ethiopian army. They can't fight them, even though Ethiopia have been at war this whole time, but Somalia have been fragmented for, you guys know, over 30 years. There's been war ongoing. So, it makes sense, like, obviously, they cannot fight against Ethiopia and win, even though he's talking tough here. But you would find out why he is talking tough. Here we go.
our country. Even if it takes centuries, we will not concede.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said on Sunday it will not allow any threat to Somalia after Ethiopia said it will consider recognizing an independence claim by Somaliland in a deal that will give it access to a seaport. The remarks by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi were the strongest yet made on the issue by Egypt, which already has frosty relation with Ethiopia. Somalia is an Arab state, a member of the Arab League, who has rights according to the League of Arab States Charter in the joint defense against any threat to it. We are not saying this to threaten anyone, but for people to understand that we will not allow anyone to threaten Somalia.
So you're hearing that. Somalia is an Arab state. I know some of you will come, well, we're just part of the league. No, it means you are an actual Arab state. So Somalia has the longest coastline. Remember that this is very important, to be able to have access to this coastline. You see, Ethiopia is landlocked. So the only other control that Ethiopia would be able to have over, no, Somalia can have over Ethiopia is about that coastline. But now, Somaliland is desperate to be recognized. They went ahead and signed a deal with Ethiopia for 50 years for them to have control over it. So Somalia is like, nah, man, you can't do that. You gotta come through us. You know, you gotta come through us. So it's not about what we want or not, but this problem is not going anywhere no time soon. Because don't forget, Somaliland is determined to be independent, to be their own nation. So even talking about these deals proves that they are not gonna turn back. They just saw South Sudan, you know, become a nation of their own. Like these people are not gonna give up. You know, they're not about to give up on this. So now there's a clear line that has been drawn to show who is on whose side. So Eritrea, you know, which supposed to be an African nation, you know, black power African nation, joined Somalia, an Arab nation. Djibouti also joined in. So they are all protecting Somalia at this point. Okay. So Al Sisi just issued a threat to Ethiopia, but he is claiming that it's not a threat, you know, because when you start talking like that, that sounds like a threat to me. Calling Somalia their brother and stuff, you know, like if you touch them, you touch us. So that means they are willing to, you know, go to war. Here we go.
Come near Somalia.
يمس Somalia.
The port lease deal, which was agreed earlier this month but not yet finished, will be a boon to landlocked Ethiopia and has enraged Somalia. The Red Sea is a fundamental part of the global trade and security and present and future opportunities for all nations, especially those who are overlooking the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf. Somalia is privileged to have a large geopolitical stake in it and will not allow an inch of its territory to be seized by another state without the consent of the Somali sovereign state. Somaliland, a region strategically located by the Gulf of Aden, broke away from Somalia in 1991 as the country collapsed into warlord-led conflict. The region has maintained its own government despite its lack of international recognition.
All right, you guys hear that, right? So, Zongo, you're right. Those who was dreaming about borderless Africa, trust me, they are living in la la land, like fantasy land. You can clearly see these countries are willing to go to war over this. So, you know, let me show you another short video here. And then before I bring you a detailed interview of Somalia's president, you know, what he said, what Al Sisi said behind closed doors. So, yeah, here we go.
Business with Ethiopia, and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali better listen. Ethiopia has been bullying Somalia because the country is desperate for access to the.
Why is always the white man that comes in to decide who is bullying who? So, in many words, what he's telling us, Ethiopia have, you know, they are colonialists. It looks like they've been bullying and slapping Somalia around for a long time. So, you know, I mean, in a way, can you blame Somalia running to their Arab Zadi? You can't blame them. I mean, they're tired of Ethiopia bullying them. So the white man came and told us, even though some of you might not take it from me, but now the white man is telling you. So to add validation, because the white man got to say it.
Coastline of the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. They can't bully Eritrea, they're strong enough to resist. They definitely cannot bully Djibouti, since Djibouti not only.
Because Djibouti got French daddy on their side. Eritrea, I mean, they've already fought wars with Ethiopia and freed themselves. Guys, are we like, okay, over here, are we pretending? Because some people like to say there's no African nation that colonized, that have fought and colonized other countries. But guys, let's be real. Is Ethiopia technically a colonial country? Who did Ethiopia colonize when those people came on that land? Isn't it time we look at that? Because these people seem to, it's like they have that colonialist thing in them. I mean, think about it. Somalia has its own problem as it is. Like, why are you trying to colonize them? You see? So if we are saying Africans don't have this trait of in them to colonize other people, then what are Ethiopians? Are they mimicking being Africans when they are not? Are they colonialists? Are they invaders? I mean, I'm just asking because they seem to have no problem invading all these countries. So, I mean, just an observation here, just an observation. Let's continue.
has a US base station there. There's also a Chinese military base. So not only would it be a poor military
Do you guys see how Djibouti even a free country? They invited everyone to come and have a military base there. So Djibouti is not independent. So I don't know. Do you think Djibouti is independent? Why is this white guy talking like Djibouti is the one that's gonna fight Ethiopia? Just say the white people that Djibouti invited over are the ones that are going to be the deterrents for Ethiopia. But let's continue.
blunder. Ethiopia owes China $13.7 billion, and they've defaulted on that debt. That leaves Somalia, the fourth poorest country in the entire world. As a result, the Ethiopians struck a deal with Somalia to obtain access to the sea and establish a marine force base. So what do you call it when one country goes into another country with the military and establishes a military base there? Yeah, that's an invasion. Egypt has stepped in and said, absolutely not. If you want to find out, Egypt could.
Are you guys hearing that? So Ethiopia is being accused of wanting to come with their military and establish military base in Somalia. But Ethiopia is saying, no, we are not trying to, annex, invade the country. We just want to, have access to the seaport, and we're signing a deal with Somaliland. Somaliland the people there don't have any problem with us coming in, right? So this is going to be a problem, a big one.
Easily do that. They are the most powerful military in the Arab world. Also, Africa. They are the 15th most powerful military out of 145 countries. Side note, Egypt is widely considered one of the most culturally rich and historically.
Did you guys hear that Egypt has the strongest military, in Africa, even amongst the Arabs there in the Arab world? So I'm confused now because Al-Sisi said they are Arabs. Even though you Africans, some of you like to come and claim these are our people. Al-Sisi, yes, I get it. The man looks Mexican. Some of you are going to think, oh, is that the Mexican president? No, the man is an Egyptian. Some of them do look Mexican. So this is why I get confused when some of you come up here and start claiming, oh, the Egyptians are Africans. So you can clearly see Al-Sisi, he ain't no black, okay? The man looks Mexican. Let's continue.
Powerful civilizations ever to exist. We are still theorizing how the heck they built the pyramids, how they managed to drill stone, how they managed to make vases out of some of the hardest substances in the world.
So what is this white man implying? So now he is not only giving news, you see what these people do? He low-key just came there to throw dirt at black people, to debunk black people's idea of being the ones that built the civilization in Egypt. Because if he's attributing all this to Al-Sisi, you guys can see him, he looks Mexican, he doesn't look anything West African. Where does that put us? And these people are having these beefs, you notice, even though it's in the continent of Africa, they're not speaking to the black African countries. I'm just noticing something here. It's Somalia ran to Egypt, Turkey, and Eritrea invited themselves. They say, hey, we got your back. Djibouti, obviously, Djibouti stepped in too. You see, so um, Ethiopia is the only black African country there, and it looks like some of the countries are backing up Ethiopia, such as South Africa. But is South Africa really have the capability without the white man going in there? You obviously know, right? Exactly. I mean, let's just keep going.
Rome and ancient Greece could not mimic what ancient Egypt did. President of Egypt's exact words were, "We will not allow anyone to threaten Somalia or infringe upon its territory," especially because the Ethiopians dammed the Nile, which means Egypt has a shortened water supply thanks to this brilliant move. Honestly, Ethiopia.
So you see, now it is making sense to you why Egypt Al-Sisi is pissed off at Ethiopia. And he's like, see, Egypt is looking for like some sort of excuse, some sort of excuse that would give them a way to like attack, you know, um, Ethiopia. So Egypt is looking for like an excuse that would, get them in a war with Ethiopia so they can finally remove that blockade. Because see, Egypt wants to tell, you know, um, Ethiopia that they cannot build a dam on their side of the Nile. And that's part of Ethiopian territory because the same flow goes all the way to Egypt. So that lessens their water. So Al Sisi, just like a colonialist, wants to tell Ethiopia, what to do on their own territory. So you think Al Sisi is just, you know, saying Somalis are his brothers, just because he believes that? No, he's looking for a way for them to be able to fight a war with Ethiopia. And he thinks he's convinced that they are going to win because they have the strongest military. But the Italians thought so before too when they went against Ethiopians. Here we go.
Is asking to be invaded on that point alone. And of course, Ethiopia has some allies. They're on good terms with the United States and China. Egypt has even more of it. China loves Egypt, and America relies heavily on Egypt to keep whatever peace that can be kept in the Middle East. So if Ethiopia actually tries to go through with this deal, they're going to get gobsmacked, and no one's going to help them. They just concluded a civil war in the Tigray region, and now they're having one in Amhara. Doesn't look good. The White House is already watching Ethiopia like, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah. So you guys hear that. So Ethiopia, according to the man, they don't stand a chance. And what's blowing my mind? I never thought, I would hear this conversation where like, they would openly, like these presidents, heads of state would openly just speak like this, go scorch earth on Ethiopia. I'm like, man, what did Ethiopia do to all these people? But the they want to use the Somali pretext because the Somali president, apparently the deal is now squashed. So the Somali president signed a deal with Turkey to have control over that area. So things are getting interesting. Like, is Somalia even fit to be its own nation now? Because they are running to other people to back them every single time. They can't fight for themselves anymore. Okay? If you think Ethiopia has the right to go into Somaliland, please put it in the chat. DG, thank you for the super chat. He said, as a Somaliland, our priority is our interest. We are tired of great failed Somali experiment. We see Ethiopia as a partner in peace. Oh, wow. Guys, that's from DG. DG, thank you for the super chat. DG is saying he's from Somaliland. So Somaliland, once, just like I laid it out. This was an experiment. This is how these Somalilanders, most of them are seeing this. And DG proved my point here. They said they no longer want to be part of this union. But Somalia is saying, no, 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 no. No, man, you can't go. You need to stay with us. You know? Like, yeah, we get it. You guys try to say Siad Barry did X, Y, and Z, but he did it to all Somalis. Like, what are you guys doing? Somaliland is like, look, no, thank you. We want to move on. And Somalia cannot handle this. Like, even though they're saying Somaliland has to stay, there's a reason why they never made moves on them until this time around. So think about the alliance that Ethiopia and Somaliland is forming. Let me do my disclaimer here. I forgot to do that earlier. For the fair use, I have an extensive interview that we're going to break down of the Somali president, and tell me if he's just openly snitching or what. But here we go. Fair use.
Other news now, tensions in the Horn of Africa have escalated since Ethiopia signed a maritime deal with the breakaway region of Somaliland earlier this year. The agreement gives landlocked Ethiopia access to the sea in exchange for Addis Ababa recognizing Somaliland's independence. The deal has angered Somalia. Well, joining me live here in the studio is the president of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. We have plenty of questions for you. Starting with this one. You've called Ethiopia an enemy. You have recalled your ambassador in Ethiopia. You have ruled out mediation with Addis unless they pull the plug on this deal. So how do you expect this crisis to be resolved then?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. And then it was not Somalia who created this problem. Ethiopia has created this problem. They are the ones who initiated claiming that they will take and annex part of Somalia to their country.
But they don't say they're annexing. They say it's a commercial deal.
No, it is not. Ethiopia has commercial interests in Somalia. There's in Berbera. They use Berbera port, and they have a stake of 19% even in the ownership of the service of Berbera. And the place where they are now saying is just a few kilometers away, few hundred kilometers away from Berbera. There is no need for that. Whatever it is, let us assume that they need another port. And this is what we have been discussing for a couple of months ago.
So you guys are hearing the Somali president giving his point, okay? So Ahmed Nur said, there's no Somaliland. It is part of Somalia. Stop lying. Look, listen, I don't know who you're referring to, but Somaliland does exist, sir. Yes, you'll be correct. They have not recognized them as a country. They have their own currency. How can you say it's a lie that they do not exist? They do exist, sir. But here we go. You would hear it from your own president's mouth.
The issue is not, will Ethiopia access to the sea? They are free to access throughout Somalia.
Where?
And everywhere in Somalia. But the question is how?
Guys, you see the Somali president, how he's talking? He said Ethiopia can access the sea like anywhere in Somalia. Because remember, I told you Somalia has the longest coastline in Africa. They have the longest. So he's like, yeah, they can access it anywhere. But isn't Somaliland supposedly in Somalia? So Ethiopia is trying to access it through there. But now he's going to tell us how they should do it.
How do they want to access the sea? By annexing part of Somalia and changing the borders of Somalia? This is what's going on right now. It is not a commercial, it is an annexation of territory.
You guys hear that? I'll break it down to you what he just said. So you notice the president in his talking points here. He is he's not recognizing Somaliland. He's not recognizing them. Despite Ethiopia making the deal with Somaliland, he's being careful about how he talks about. He's not recognizing them at all. So therefore, if he doesn't recognize them, that would mean Ethiopia, if Ethiopia comes into Somaliland based on the agreement they had with Somaliland, that would mean Ethiopia is annexing a part of Somalia. But he said something important. He thinks Ethiopia is coming in there to help Somaliland become an actual sovereign nation. That's why he's saying they want to come and change our map. They want to come and change our map. So this region is very, very interesting. Yes, Somaliland can be there, but they cannot make any deals, as we are seeing.
So as you know, Ethiopia says it's not annexation. They say it's also not a formal recognition of the sovereignty of Somaliland. They say it is a commercial deal. And I just want to remind our viewers of what this potential deal is. The memorandum of understanding between Ethiopia and Somaliland is that they would rent a 20-kilometer stretch of coastline in Somaliland for half a century, for 50 years, for commercial purposes and for a military port as well. What is the part of that that angers Somalia?
First of all, Somalia is an independent and sovereign state. When such deals are taking place, it is the federal government of Somalia who has a legitimate right this thing to be discussed.
So the Somali president is just letting you know, like, no, there's no such thing as Somaliland. So he said the federal government, which he leads, is the only authority that can, make such deals. So Ethiopia is trying to rent, like he said, a stretch of kilometers in Somaliland, the area that declared itself Somaliland, for commercial purposes and having, like a military base there. But you see, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed here have a problem with Ethiopia coming in there, but he has no problem with Turkey coming in or Egypt coming in. I mean, come on, like what? And like this is all to block, Somaliland from becoming an independent state. And I'm not like saying the guy is wrong. He's the president of the Federation of Somalia. You wouldn't expect anything other than what he is saying. So here we go.
Not a breakaway or not a region of Somalia at all. And above all, commercial and military base mixed together and doing one thing, that's one. The other thing, if it is a 20-kilometer strip of land in the coast only, how that strip of land and how that port is going to be connected to Ethiopia by passing through Somalia, that's another one. The other one,
why is the president worried about Ethiopia having, that in Somaliland? Ethiopian troops are already in Somalia. They are already there. So, I mean, is there something he's not telling us? But here we go.
It's in public domain. Ethiopia said we do this in exchange of recognition. We recognize Somaliland. That's a public and that's official. And if they said they didn't.
Wait. So he's worried about the recognition.
Said only one time. The prime minister said, the minister of foreign affairs said, the national security advisor said, many other leaders in Ethiopia said. So the recognition is there.
But I'm sorry, but they have walked that all the way back, Somalia has. They have said this is not an official recognition of the sovereignty of Somaliland.
We don't have that yet. It's you.
So this is the real conversation. It's about the sovereignty of Somaliland. Somalia doesn't want to see that happen. Egypt has a vested interest, to go against Ethiopia. So Eritrea also have a vested interest in using this to punish Ethiopia. Djibouti gotta go with Somalia because their Arab masters said so. Here we go.
Who have that?
No, they put it on. No, they put it on Twitter.
No, the Twitter is not the way to communicate between states.
Have you spoken to the Ethiopian Prime Minister then?
No.
Why not?
Why do I speak? Because he's taking part of my country and he's claiming.
See, man. So the Somalian, this is war, guys. So you see, the Somalian president already answered. They asked him, "Are you talking to Ethiopia, the prime minister?" He said no. He said, "Why would I talk to him? He's taking part of my country." So he's already made, he's letting us know he's made up his mind that like Ethiopia, they want to come and colonize them. So yeah, he said Ethiopia wants to take a part of their country. So annexation, that's like a colonialist.
We are not equal partners. When he said, I do not recognize Somalia, I recognize Somaliland, which was part of Somalia. Who am I talking to? He's talking to Somaliland.
How does this get resolved if there's no communication between you and Ethiopia?
He has to. Somalia has not initiated this problem. It's Ethiopia has initiated. It is in their, the ball is in their court.
So he is blaming Ethiopia. He said Ethiopia, caused this problem. So, the ball is in their court. Guys, do you think the president here is being a crybaby about this? Do you guys think he's avoiding conversation with Ethiopia? Oh, Ethiopia is playing a dirty game on the man here. Maybe that's why he's upset. Maybe we don't know, right? But guys, like the video, please. Hit the like. And the super chats are open. Spellcaster, thank you for the super chat. He said, I just want these countries to communicate and settle this issue in a civil manner. Great show, Afridamus. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, as you can see, the president here is, he doesn't want to talk to them. He doesn't want to talk to Ethiopia. So here we go.
They have to open the means of the conducive environment to communicate and to negotiate and to dialogue. It is up to them. It's not us.
So what do you say to Ethiopia?
I would like to say, Ethiopia, we are neighbors. We are not neighbors by choice. We have a history, long, long history.
So remember this here. He's saying we are neighbors. We have long history. So this is a neighbor beef, neighbor dispute. Okay. We will continue, and I will remind you guys of how it would look like he's speaking from, both sides of his mouth. This is between him and his neighbors. They have long history. Let's continue.
Known, and this thing has not happened in the last more than 1,000 years that Somalia and Ethiopia was living together as people. We have some difficult histories, but I'm not going back to that history, which is difficult. But now, in 21st century, let the Ethiopia recognizes the sovereignty, the territorial integrity, and the political independence of Somalia, the Federal Republic of Somalia. Then we are two partners. We can negotiate everything. Ethiopia can have access. They can have deals with us, everything. But not the way they are approaching now. That's not the way the modern world works.
Have you spoken to the leadership in Somaliland?
1st January is the time when MOU was signed. On 27 December and 28 December, we were having a dialogue discussion in Djibouti, and we have a very good environment and very good discussion on us.
So this is a good question that they asked him. They want to know, is he communicating with, the leaders of Somaliland? So let's hear how this goes. He said they met in Djibouti. They had conversations Let's find out what this conversation was all about.
Even when that conclusion was ended, Prime Minister Abiy appreciated, and he said, this is a good step taken towards the right direction. To me, he said to me, but the next day he signed that agreement.
Yeah, so indeed, you were with the...
So he's saying that Prime Minister Abiy of, Ethiopia sounded like he was being a snake. He said to his face, everything was cool, but he signed the deal behind closed doors. So there's more at play here. He doesn't trust Ethiopia. Let's just call it like that.
The leaders of Somaliland 2-3 days before that memorandum of understanding was signed. Are you saying then that they kept you in the dark about what they were about to do?
Yes, they never mentioned. We have been discussing how to unite Somalia, not how to give part of Somalia to Ethiopia. No, this was not the subject of discussion. The subject of discussion was the unity of Somalia, how we unite and how we address the grievances of the past and all this. That was the discussion.
What are you asking Ethiopia to do, and what happens if Ethiopia goes through with this memorandum of understanding, this deal?
Look, one thing is very clear. Ethiopia has no right to do that. Diplomatically, legally, it has no right to do
But what if they do it?
Well, that is another case. Let us hope that they will not do it.
Well, the president don't want to answer. He's saying, because Ethiopia looks like, to be honest, the way they rolling around like, hey, dude, what you going to do about it? We going to sign it and there ain't nothing you can do. That's how the prime minister acts like. So, Hassan said Mohammed here doesn't want to answer the question. Let's see if he's really going to answer it. DG said, please give him the educated feet. Guys, Somalians, don't get mad. He has to get the educated feet. He gave a super chat for it. Here we go.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man. What you gonna do? Look out, boys. It's coming through. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Boy, he got educated feet. Boy, I practice all
right. We had to hit him with that. But continuing.
This is a piece of land that belongs to Somalia, and Somalia will never yield whatever pressure that comes on it. We will keep claiming our territory, and we will take it back, whatever it is. So far, Ethiopians, they didn't come into Somalia yet, and we hope that they will not.
You have Ethiopians there already in the peacekeeping. They are already there, sir. But continuing.
If they come in, then that will be a problem at a different level.
You traveled around the region recently. You went to Egypt on Sunday. You met with the Egyptian president, Mr. al-Sisi. Now, he had very harsh words against Ethiopia, and he said they should not try us.
So you guys remember this, right? The president here, Somalian president earlier, he said Ethiopia is their neighbor. They are, they've been friendly with each other for, over 1,000 years. So now he goes all the way to Egypt. So he's gonna let somebody else say harsh things about his neighbor that he said they are like brothers. Here we go.
Meaning they shouldn't try Egypt, especially if they are challenging a brother, by which he meant Somalia. He hinted essentially that Egypt, or that's what it sounded like, that Egypt would be willing to come to Somalia's military aid. Did you discuss military action with the Egyptian president?
Somalia is part of the Arab League, and in the...
You guys hear that? So you see, how is that neighborly love going, or brotherly love? Like on one side of your mouth, you say, oh, we are brothers, we are neighbors. But when there's, disputes, you don't discuss it with your neighbor. You run far away to somebody else who also says, we are brothers. And Egypt is saying things like, Ethiopia better not try us. Okay, wait a minute, Egypt. How did this become about you? But you see, Egypt just inserted itself in the middle and said, yeah, Somalia is a blood brother. We are one and the same. You attack Somalia, you're going to have to deal with us. Guys, so if Somalia were even They have African Union troops in Somalia. I think Somalia should get kicked out of the African Union, and I think they won't even care, because you see, when they feared something, they ran to the Arabs. So here we go.
Part of, in the Arab League, there is a chapter in the charter that says that the attack of one country is the attack of the rest of the countries in that organization. So Somalia does not need to have a deal with any Arab country, because that is a mandate to each and every Arab country, number one. Number two, Somalia and Egypt has a history, collaboration of history for a long time.
So those of you that like to say, oh no, we are not Arab, but Somalia is considered an Arab nation, you can hear it from the president himself. Okay? Somalia is an Arab nation. So, for those of you who are confused whether it's an African nation or an Arab nation, you got your answer. So it is an African nation, which is Ethiopia, having issues with an Arab nation, Somalia.
Even if before we become independent in 1956, when the Canal Suez War was there, Somalia as a people, they were supporting with Egypt. And then all the way.
So you see, now he's pointing out all the time that they've supported, Egypt. So I guess the brotherhood, that neighborly brotherhood, died a while ago after that speech he gave.
Many times Somalia has got into difficulty, Egypt to support it. The support does not mean boots on the ground.
Okay, that's my question, because I understand the history, but my question is, did you discuss potential military action?
No. We have not discussed it.
Do you guys believe the president? Do you guys believe that they didn't discuss military possibility of military action? Come on, president, tell us. I think he did.
The Egyptian military coming to Somalia.
All right, you guys heard that. So I'm going to drop the link here. Those of you that want to participate in this discussion, you can hit the link. Come on in. Let's keep it civil. I don't want people coming up here, yelling and screaming. The link is in the chat. So hit the link. Come on in, and let's have the discussion. Because I get it. Before, we've had these conversations here where people ask, is Somalia an Arab nation or an African nation? So today would be a good day to call in to have that conversation. And also, do you think the Somali president is overreacting, bringing in all Egypt, Turkey, other people, selling the story that Ethiopia is trying to annex them? So I have someone in here. Let me hit that. Right.
I just want to say, Afrodamos, thank you for having me. Good topic. I like this topic, and I want to say something about Ethiopia. Ethiopia is an imperialistic nation. If you look at their land today, where you have Ogaden belongs to Somalia. They conquered it, and they conquered many tribes. Ethiopia is an imperialistic nation, and we need to learn about history. We need to look back in history. Ethiopia always has fought Somali people. Ethiopia has never been nice to the Somali people, and Ethiopia has a bad intention, and the Somali government has reacted.
So when you say bad intention, what do you mean?
They want to conquer. They want to conquer people. They have you heard about unifying the Horn of Africa? Ethiopia has something like that, where they want to dominate the Horn of Africa, and they want to create their whole empire of the Horn of Africa, where they have the land of Sudan and the land of Somalia, and Eritrea, and they unified it under Ethiopian imperialism.
Whoa, so the Somali president is not overreacting according to you?
Yeah, yeah, because under the Arab League, one attack on one Arab nation is attack on all. Okay, they have something like that, and Egypt is having the reaction, and it is correct. Ethiopia has done bad things to these both nations. If you look at it, and Ethiopia has been imperialistic.
So what do you make
Ethiopia,
of, are you surprised that Eritrea, who's
yeah,
recently made peace with Egypt, are you
yeah,
shocked to see, Eritrea, stepping in, coming to the aid of Somalia? I mean,
yeah,
like with
because
Egypt, we understand,
mhm.
even though Al-Sisi is saying it's about the brotherhood, but we all know, that's
Yeah,
just a story. But Eritrea, what do you think?
Eritrea.
Eritrea is still bitter, still
No, no,
have
no,
grudge against uh
no.
Ethiopia.
Eritrea is helping a brother. Eritrea was conquered by
But
Ethiopia, and
Eritrea is more brotherly with Ethiopia than Somalia.
when it comes to history, when it comes to friendliness, Eritrea is more friendly with Somalia compared to Ethiopia because Eritrea is an enemy of Ethiopia. That's how they
Right.
always viewed it, and
But they made peace, right?
yeah. But like it doesn't. Eritrea is a military because the government is really military. They push the military because they're so scared of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is an imperialistic country where they always
But
fought
when
the
you keep saying imperialistic, like,
yeah.
I mean, for instance, I mean, like they've never gone and invaded Kenya, or all those other black African countries around them.
Hmm.
For they just want to have, access to the sea. You can, like, is that a possibility here? Like,
No. If you look at it, Abiy Ahmed have brought so many wars to the region of the Horn of Africa. Abiy Ahmed is the most controversial leader in the Horn of Africa, where he's associated with every war that is going on, where he kills innocent people. Uh, Abiy Ahmed is not to be trusted because he has killed millions of people of the north of Ethiopia. Have you heard of that word that is still going on? He's starving
the,
people. He's using weapon to starve people, and Ethiopia will conquer. Ethiopia. If you look at their history, they always have been an empire. They always have been an imperialistic, where they want to expand. If you look at the geography, they always got bigger. They always been bigger. They always got bigger. They included one time ago. They included Eritrea. They included the Ogaden region. They included many regions, and they are the hardline of Ethiopia, and they dominate those regions basically.
so you are concluding that Ethiopia is the problem,
Yeah, Ethiopia has been imperialistic. That's why
but they are
people are scared
friendly
of
with
Ethiopia.
they are friendly with Somaliland. Do you think?
Somaliland
Would you
is
take that
a
into account?
Somaliland is a breakaway region of Somalia
Right.
where you have some basically you have two other Somaliland. If you really look at it, you look you know Puntland. Puntland is a really independent uh, province of Somalia, and Somaliland is one of them. And Somaliland just wants an independence, and Puntland was like that like 5 years ago. They wanted independence from Somalia.
Hmm.
But if you look at the global superpowers, they don't want Somalia to spread. They want unify Somalia, and because they always have worked on helping Somalia to get stable, and by recognizing Somaliland, that is in undermining the progress have Somalia done
Okay, let me
because
bring in Pan Africanism. Hang tight. Pan-Africanism strikes back.
I mean, honestly, who would want Somalia to spread? It's like all messed up. You want to spread some crazy shit? People don't. I don't think people be thinking the stuff through that they be saying, man. But I just came up, bro, because I think I'm gonna need your help later on the day, bro. I'm going in on the Ibrahim Traore dude over in Burkina Faso. I honestly feel like he's a dictator and a puppet up under Vladimir Putin. But you know, black people, we could see something happen a million times in a row over 100 years. But every time, this time is going to be different. So tonight I'm doing a show on this dude. We're going to kind of do a deep dive on who he is, what he's doing, how he's actually, how he took power, and basically how it's just another reiteration of the same thing that keeps happening in Burkina. And I understand that you are a common sense West African who has a brain in his head that is not consumed by emotionalism and ugali and fufu and everything else y'all Africans be eating. So just look on the lookout tonight. I'm gonna
I'll
address the
check it out.
Ibrahim Traore. Please do that. Please.
I will. I will.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. All right, Nihilotic Junter, welcome to the Afridamus Report. Nihilotic, are you there?
Afridamus, how are you doing?
I'm well. So Nihilotic, yes. What do you make of, the Egyptian president, threatening Ethiopia on behalf of Somalia?
Afridamus, what's new? All of these countries are threatening each other every other day. But the truth is, none of them have the finances to be fighting. Egypt has been threatening Ethiopia over the dam for like 10 years now. At no point have any of these countries ever fought because neither Ethiopia nor Egypt have the money.
But Somalia have to take Ethiopia serious because, they've actually...
Afridamus, with what army? There's like 40,000 Ethiopian troops in Somalia keeping Al-Shabaab at bay for them. There's the whole African Union army. Like Somalia doesn't... If Egypt and Ethiopia don't have the money to be fighting wars with one another, where's the money for Somalia?
But what would you say? What's the purpose of this Somali president? I mean, because you've heard his words. He believes that they're going to annex. Yeah.
Obviously, he has to come out and be aggressive because if he doesn't come out and he's not aggressive, he might as well just abdicate his presidency and move on because all of the groups in the country are coming for him and saying he's the reason this is happening. So he has to come out and look strong and look like he's fighting back so that he can stay in power. That will help him in the future. Just like Egypt is going to say whatever they need to say, the Ethiopian president is going to say whatever they have to say. But at the end of the day, you look back 5 years from now, Somaliland, maybe some other African countries also recognize that nothing's going to happen. That's going to be like the dam again, where countries are going to keep talking. And at some point, one president is going to come out and say this. But you look back now, after all the threats Egypt and Ethiopia have been sending each other, the dam is built, nothing has happened. These countries don't have the money. Afridamus, Egypt had like a 50% inflation last year. Ethiopia has a 20% inflation rate. Turkey also has like 80% inflation rate. Well, where's the money coming from for these countries to be fighting each
other? Egypt gets their military money from the United States. They get like a billion
even with all that, they still have 50% inflation rate. You know what, if you had 50% inflation rate in the US, you would be on the streets rioting right now.
No. So wait. So are you saying, are you trying to say then the deal that Ethiopia is trying, striking with Somaliland, because I'm sure Somaliland is very serious about getting their recognition as a country. It's not like just some look at what we can do. Like these guys are serious about being their own nation. And we know Ethiopia is serious about, having access to the sea. So are you telling me that you still believe this is all talk?
Mostly. I mean, obviously, Somalia doesn't want Somaliland to be recognized, but Afridamus, what can they really do? They don't even have like a proper standing army that can defend its own borders.
Well, that's where Egypt comes into play.
Afridamus, do you know how many problems Egypt? Okay, if Egypt wasn't going to fight for the Nile River, what makes you think they're going to fight for Somalia? What's the return for them?
Well, because they
If
hate
you are the Egyptian,
Ethiopia.
Aphrodite, if you are the Egyptian president and you are not even willing to fight to go and destroy that, how are you going to explain to your people, you know what? You're going to have to go through economic turmoil because I want to fight for these people somewhere else.
Because they want to, you know, have control. They want to remove that dam.
But the dam is already there now.
Okay.
Afrodamas, can I tell you something?
Go for it.
Afrodamas, if you look at the world in a global sense, the most important nations are in favor of Somalia. For example, you had the United States, the Biden administration. They were full support of Somalia, territorial integrity. They were full support of it. You have Europe. Europe was full support of it because Europe has always supported the peace. Europe always has supported Somalia when it comes to this problem, and you had have you looked at Turkey, the deal that they made with the Somalian government?
Right. I've seen it.
Where yeah, with the navy, the Turkish navy. If you look at Turkey spends like the whole economy of Egypt. I mean, the whole economy of Ethiopia on their military. They like spend like 100 billion per year on their military. It is a really powerful nation. It's like you're talking about the top 10, top 5 strongest army, and you're talking about the most strongest army in the region, who have cared about this. They're not threatening Ethiopia. They're just saying Ethiopia back off. Basically, they're not
Okay.
threatening.
So like I was saying, so Somaliland, right? They are determined to
Yeah.
have their own, you know, nation. It doesn't seem like they're gonna, you know, rest till they achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Like, do you foresee them being free in the next, say, 5 years?
No, because the elites like the the hypothetical of Somaliland being independent because they want to keep the power, and they're getting a lot of money. The elites support, and they rally the population. The elites are it's like they want to create a clan country, basically, where predominantly one clan is like have you seen the dominant Somaliland has only like one clan that dominates like half all of the country. It's like about that too, it's about like a racial thing too.
Also, it's like you're saying it's about racial identity.
It's about identity too. They wouldn't dominate unified Somalia. They wouldn't be part of like a leadership. Because they will make up such a small population. But if they build a nation, they can keep power in many things. And the elites are really corrupt. They like the idea of independence.
Okay.
Aphrodamus,
Yeah.
ask Andre here. Isn't Somalia run by like just two tribes, two clans themselves? Like only members of two clans can even be president in Somalia. So it's the same thing. Like you're criticizing them for the same thing you're doing in your country.
If you look at the leadership, you must have like a percentage of every clan. Basically, it's like really diverse. You look at, for example, Darod has like 10%.
What are the clans of the
seats.
presidents you have in Somalia?
No, they've always been like two tribes because like they been.
That's what I'm saying.
But look, that doesn't mean like if you look at the people sitting in power, basically their percentage of every clan, they're like it's like a cake like that is cut up like many times. It's not dominated by one. You wouldn't see people are still have power. People still have seats.
Aradam,
Okay.
every country in the Horn is run the same way. It literally makes no difference. The most dominant tribe that is going to run the country. That's it.
All right. Let's bring in Rashid. Rashid, are you there?
Yeah, Pradamas, how you doing?
Who's got the crickets in the back?
Is the cricket?
It's probably me. I'm
Cricket. Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Man, for Davis.
Rashid, why would you say your president ran to Egypt to beg them to come and rescue you from Ethiopian colonization?
First of all, I will say hello to everybody.
Hello.
But the other thing is, for Davis, don't interrupt me. If when
No,
I
I
talk,
would
because
not.
you
Go
like
ahead.
you will you are in America. You have to exercise democracy also, freedom of speech, and that's brotherly. Requesting.
Yeah, the same
Number
brotherhood that the president of Ethiopia, the president of Somalia has with the with the prime minister of Ethiopia.
For Davis, I'm from Somaliland actually.
Oh, you're from Somaliland.
Yeah, I am
Okay,
from
so
there.
what do you think about the deal that Somaliland
Okay,
struck with
all right. Let me tell you this. Okay, let me tell you this. I am from Somaliland, and this president now in Somaliland, he sees out of time. He doesn't want to have the election. So this is he want to diffuse the people. He want to turn the people to different direction. And
wait,
also
wait.
Abiy Ahmed also have the same problem. He has a Fano, which is the Amhara region already 80 kilometers to Addis Ababa, and also OLA, the Oromo also fighting on the other side. Ethiopia had a lot of issue nowadays. Has also Abiy Ahmed is trying to escape that, and also want to turn his politics to a different direction. So there are two leaders who are really fail in that region.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
was.
w- okay, fine. But the Somali president.
Yeah.
So, do you think he's putting on an act like he doesn't believe that what he's saying?
Okay, number one, the first of all, this kind of Arab League is like an African Union, is a failed system. It doesn't work in that area. We went to Arab League just for economic, for business. I tell you, like
Yeah,
I told you, like
but he
last time,
believed he believed
it's
that.
not functioning. It's not functioning community. It's just it's just. You see how Gaza now is Israel is doing. Can they do? That's their own real brothers. They are the Arab brothers who speak the same language. We don't speak Arabic. We just
Yeah,
Arab League.
but you guys are. I mean, you're from Somaliland. Somaliland, they said they are with Ethiopia, so they are the African country. Somalia is an Arab nation.
No, look,
The president,
it's
the
not that way.
president said it.
It's not that way. For example, Somaliland. I'm from there actually.
But
So Somali
but on
people.
paper,
Okay, Somali
so
people.
on
Okay, let
paper,
me explain. Let me put this. Somali people is one tribe, just like in other African tribes. All Somali people is one tribe. This clan thing is a family, like I said in a different panel.
so
It's
why
just
do
a
you guys
family
want
thing.
to
So
separate then
Somali
if it's
people is a
one?
one nation.
Why do you
Well,
want to?
it was a political. It's a politics. It was politics. It was not anything to do with the ethnic groups or anything like that. It
Well, I
was a
mean,
politics
politics
because Siad
entails a
Barre,
whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, because Siad Barre did bad in that area, in that region. So the people are still angry because of that. And then
Mhm.
some people who went on board want to take advantage of out of that and to declare breakaway. And that is the problem. So they just use those now elite who are drumming for breakaway. They benefited from this. They get
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
you
money
guys,
and they
doesn't
just
Somaliland have its own currency?
yeah. But the currency is failed. You cannot buy even one thing. It's not. It's dollarized system. If you go to Hargeisa, you buy everything with dollar. It's nothing.
Oh,
It's not
really?
functioning. Yeah. So we really there's not. It's not. This thing is like I said. This politics in that Horn of
So it's
Africa.
just
These
paper.
leaders are really bad leaders. It's just a yeah. This
Hmm.
Abiy Ahmed, he has his own issues. Ethiopia
Okay.
now currency all the way down. One Ethiopian $100 is 5,000 Ethiopian birr in the bank, and in the city you can in the black market is 8,000 to 10,000 Ethiopian birr. So the Ethiopia now This guy he messed it
Apridamus,
up.
can you just Google that?
He
Huh?
inherited a system which is
You want me to Google? Oh, yeah, sure. Go
so
ahead.
it
Apridamus, he
was
said 8,000, bro.
Hmm?
yeah, in the black
It's-
market you can get 8,000, 10,000, whatever. But in the bank it's
Bro,
5,000
I was just
Ethiopian
in
birr
Ethiopia a month
for one
ago.
hundred
It's like,
dollar.
I was just in Ethiopia a month ago. It's like
So
85
Abiy
or
Ahmed
90.
he's really
That's
messed up
around
the
the range in
country.
the black market.
Yeah. You see, so this Abiy Ahmed he's really messed up the country. So because look, Somaliland gave him a stake. Not
So
this one, but the previous
one beer,
government. Uh,
one beer. No, $100 is it's almost 6,000. Five
yeah, you
thousand
see,
six hundred and 663. Yeah, in the black
it's
market.
No, what is
it
$1? Not
went
a
down.
hundred.
Black
What is
market
No,
$1?
went to
100.
8,000.
Huh?
Because I have a
What
family
is
there. I have a
$1?
family there. Yes.
No, it's 100. Hold on.
Because
It says $100.
yeah, you
No,
see,
what is $1?
I have a family
Oh,
in
one
Ethiopia.
dollar. Let me see
Part of my
here.
family.
Rashid, keep going.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that this guy and what I
One
call
is
the previous
56.
government,
Apridamus, what did I say? Didn't I say it's
previous
around 80?
government, has
Yeah.
signed. So
So
previous government actually signed a deal with the Berbera port. They gave Ethiopia 19% stake on that port, so they can
so
use that port.
then why is it a
So Abiy Ahmed
problem
actually
now?
failed to. So he failed to pay that money. So he is trying to divert the Ethiopian people because he failed the system. The Fano is Amhara. They already 80 kilometers from Addis Ababa. He's totally failed. The Tigray, he doesn't rule. He doesn't control Tigray region. They are breakaway. They are in their own. Amhara is their own. Now he cannot go to Bahardar. He cannot go to Gondar. He cannot because they control that region. Their own people rule that region. This guy is failed prime minister, so he's trying to divert the people to something else.
So
And
so Rashid,
the
why do
president
you think
of
Egypt? Why is Egypt then issuing all this tough talk like they are gangsters?
Egypt is just Egypt is they running for their own interest for because of the dam with Ethiopia and something like that. They don't love Somalia. They don't love for Somalia. They just they just doing this because they have an issue with Ethiopia because of the dam. And then
So Rashid, do you
hello,
want hello? Do you
you
have a do
can you
you
hear me?
yeah? Do you prefer a Somaliland on its
Can
own?
you hear me?
Or yes, we can hear you. Or a greater Somalia like it was?
Say it again. Can you repeat that question?
I said, do you prefer Somaliland as a nation of its own, or you want it to come join, the federation, like it used to be? Which one do you prefer? Oh, something happened to him.
I can answer that question. I can answer that question.
Okay.
I think for
Where,
the
where are you from again?
for me,
Are you
I'm calling from Gothenburg.
in Sweden? No, I'm saying, are
Yeah.
you Somali,
Yeah,
Ethiopian? Or?
I'm ethnically Somali. One of my parents are from Ethiopia. My
Oh,
mom was
so
born.
you are both.
Yeah, but I identify with Somalia because I'm ethnically Somali. Because
Okay.
I don't believe a Somali person will identify with Ethiopia because there's no such a thing as Ethiopian. There are Amhara. There, you know what I mean. Ethiopia was a unified imperial like country. Like an empire that was unified on many tribes who were conquered. But I think for the Somali people, a good, strong nation is better because division is not good. Because like you don't need to follow your colonial border. These people will fight for colonial border. They will. I don't think we should kill each other over colonial border. If you look at the North are saying we're the British Empire, we're British Empire. Uh, we shouldn't advocate for colonial border.
So, do you think Somalia should be kicked out of the AU and send them packing to their Arab zaddies?
Uh, okay, I forgot. No, because the Somalia is an ally of those countries.
No,
Somalia is
Somalia
not
is
a.
ally of the Arab nations.
Let me tell you, Somalia doesn't have a good relationship with Ethiopia. Somalia only has a good relationship with Eritrea, Djibouti, with Kenya. Somalia has a good ally with the Arab League and Egypt and Turkey. Somalia is a good ally for Turkey. Turkey has invested so much money to stabilize Somalia. You know,
What about China?
China, no, Turkey has invested more to Somalia than China has done. Uh, the people, even America doesn't want to see the the borders of Africa changing because they know the consequence of that is going to be war. Like it's like South Sudan. You saw how South Sudan they get your independence. You gotta fight each other. It's not good. Bloodshed is not good.
All right,
I
let's
don't
bring
support that.
Rashid back. Rashid, are you there?
I don't think he's there, but you know,
No,
Fredamus, I want to tell you
Rashid,
the
unmute yourself.
I want to add this more. I want to add this sentence, Fredamus, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, I want to say that the North Somaliland has more. It become like more dictatorship. If they
Wait,
become
so Somaliland is a dictatorship.
yeah,
So
because
which
they're not they're not
so
they're
the
not holding
federation is
elections.
freer?
uh, if they become a dictatorship, people actually care about them because they're only democratic. They're becoming more dictatorship where they're not having election. You know, uh, they're not having election.
So
It's
they're
like
like
this guy.
Eritrea.
This guy is keeping power. Yeah, this guy doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to give up power. And when that happens, the global north is not gonna care about Somaliland because like they only care about it because it is stable and it is democratic. It is becoming less democratic every year where this guy doesn't want to give up power. If it becomes
Yeah, but so
Mhm.
well, it's not even a recognized country yet.
Yeah, but like Somalia is a federation. You have
Right.
every federation leader, like of the like
Like each
president has a
region.
lead. Yeah, each region has a leader where they control the economy. They control they're more they have more sovereignty. You know, they control their police. They control their defense. It's like a federation. It's like the United States. You know
Huh.
how there's yeah the how it's like the same thing, but the leader doesn't want to give up power.
So
The guy
since you you
elected.
you you identify as a Somali, um do you see it as your leader, ran to you guys' Arab zadis for help?
Uh, the Arabs are the ally of the Somali countries because they if you look at it
Why not
uh,
you guys go to Kenya?
Kenya has supported Somalia. They
Adamas, why are you
go.
trolling him, man?
Huh?
Ke-
Wait,
Why are you
Nilotic.
trolling him?
Wait, Nilotic. When I said Kenya, you said I'm I'm trolling him.
Because Ethiopia and Kenya are basically allies when it comes to Somalia. You know they have a deal that says if either one of them gets attacked by Somalia, they will join hands together.
Because
Abiy Ahmed was just in Kenya today.
so he's tighter with so Kenya is in better relationship
They're not in
with
better
Ethiopia.
relationship, but they just have this one issue where they are aligned, if that makes sense.
They're allied against Somalia.
Obviously, because they both have Somali territories or the territories that Somalis claim historically. So they both don't want to see, you know, In this one situation, they are allies, if you want to say that. But
Okay.
basically, what the Somalilander said is true. Both the Somaliland president and Abiy Ahmed need this deal to work because Abiy Ahmed will also be coming into elections within the next 2 years.
So
And they both need something to
to
show to
look
the
good.
population because they both have a lot of internal problems. They both need to show the population that, hey, at least who's in a car? They both need to show the population that we did something. And for Abiy Ahmed, it's gaining access to the sea. And for the other Somaliland presidents, it's for gaining, some international recognition. So both of them are desperate for this to work. Abiy Ahmed has already sent some of his ethnic group, the generals from his own ethnic group, to go to Somaliland. And I don't know what they're doing there, but basically, yeah, they both need this to work. So they both they have a lot of skin in this game.
So you saying this is just political theater? I mean, even though they know
Everything is political.
well, they know the area is volatile. You think these men are, playing political games to, help themselves, become more powerful?
Yeah, I mean, if Abiy Ahmed can do this, he basically becomes untouchable in Ethiopia. Or at least he becomes because most people still don't really like him. So this gains him a lot of popularity, at least within his own ethnic group.
Okay. So what do you say about what I love said that Ethiopia is an imperialist nation? They want to conquer
Yeah,
all the
Ethiopia
other
is
countries in that.
imperialistic. Yeah,
I mean, Afidamas, what is more imperialist? Aren't the Somalis trying to keep Somalilanders against their will? Isn't that also imperialist? Every country is imperialist. I don't know why they throw this word out. They say don't throw stones from a glass house. If you yourself are imperialist, how can you call someone else imperialist? You want to keep the Somalilanders in Somalia against their will, but you're calling someone else imperialist. You're doing the same thing.
No. Because they're no such a country that wouldn't fight for their unity. It's like have you seen any country split off peacefully?
But couldn't Ethiopia say the same thing?
No. Ethiopia is an imperialistic country. Where my family is from. This country, this place is in Ethiopia. Like half of my family. It is the Ogaden region. The Ogaden region was conquered by Ethiopia. It is Somaliland, and it is a Somali region. It is you will find only ethnic Somalis. That's why I'm from there. I don't identify with the Ethiopia because I identify myself with the Somali.
Interesting.
Because
okay, let's
Ethiopia
bring
conquered.
You notice how he didn't answer the question? Isn't keeping someone against their will imperialist?
Yes,
every African country can. Afidamas, literally every country in the world can be called imperialist. Because if there's a breakaway state and your country stops them from breaking away, you could also be imperialist. That definition doesn't mean anything.
I say imperialistic because Ethiopia want to spread outside of Ethiopia. They want to fight. They want to fight their northern region of. They want to fight their northern region. They want to attack Eritrea. They want to. Even the leader said we're gonna invade countries for poor. That's imperialistic.
I didn't deny you're imperialist. I just said almost every country in the world is imperialist.
Oh, hold on. Rashid, are you there?
Yeah, I am here for the. I don't like to interrupt people. I like to listen and I want to speak my own way.
Okay. So I was saying before you were cut off. So, because you said you're from Somaliland.
Yes.
Do you prefer Somaliland as its own nation, or you want it to become a greater Somalia like it was, after independence?
Okay, it's the same thing. If I ask you, would you like half of Gambia?
No. I'm asking you because Gambia is
the same.
Gambia is not. Gambia is not in that.
It's the same. We are the same people. Somalia.
No, there's no.
Like I said,
it's not a good example, Rashid, because Gambia doesn't.
It's a good example.
Gambia don't have a breakaway state.
Like I said, for example, if half of Gambia want to become independent, do you accept?
But that's not happening. So I don't know.
Okay, so okay, let me explain this. Somali people is one tribe, like I told you many times. We are one people. We speak the same language. We are same ethnic group. We are the same homogeneous people.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
but they still
if
want
we
to
live
have their
if we live
own
in the if
country.
we live in Ogaden or if we live in Djibouti or in northern Kenya. We are same people. Somali people are same people.
Okay,
We yes
I understand that.
yes. Mm.
That's why I'm asking you this question, because obviously there is a breakaway
Yes, you see,
region.
there are
Hold on,
people.
hold on, hold on. Even
Yeah.
I get it, even though you're saying it's the same people. Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
That still doesn't negate the fact that a breakaway region is in existence. People who want their own country away from the place we know as Somalia.
Okay.
So
Okay. I will explain to
so
you.
so do you? I'm saying,
Okay. If when
is
I
it
talk
better for
about
this
myself.
nation to exist on its own?
Okay. It's
Somalia
actually
goes on its own, or they should be forced to come together.
okay. There won't be any force for no reason. There won't be any force. The people will come together on their own willing, and even
But
even
that didn't.
even
I'm saying that didn't
even
happen
one.
yet. When
Okay.
that
Let me finish.
happens, we can
Yeah.
say.
Let me
But
finish. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
okay.
Some of even my own cousin he's in the opposition parties in Somaliland. He's part of the Somali system, Somaliland system. But myself, me, I would like to. I love. I want union with Somalia. Where I don't want separation because what happened is happened in the past, and we want to unite. We want to be one country, and that's what I want to say about that. When it comes to Ethiopia, actually, Ethiopia and Somalia, we have more in relations and interest each other. There is no the Ethiopia, have more business to Somalia. Ethiopia export a lot of cats to Somalia, to whether
They what?
Somaliland or so. Yes, cat
The
goes all the way
cat?
to Mogadishu. Yeah, cat.
Wait,
Yes.
wait, wait. Like cat as in meow?
No, 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 no. Cat is
Oh,
leaves
cat.
that
Oh, the
grows
cat. Okay. The
yes, yes,
hallucinogen.
yes. Cat goes to from Ethiopia, and
Oh,
that
oh,
is
that
like
comes from. Wait, wait.
come from Ethiopia to Somali to Mogadishu to go to Mogadishu or to Hargeisa or to Basaso. So
Wait.
that's a big revenue for Ethiopia. It comes every month. They make like a lot of money out of that. That's the revenue.
Jesus.
And there is also another, like groceries, what they call it, those vegetables and all that also.
So Ethiopia only exports chewable drug.
And also not only that, that's one example.
So they have so most of the chewable drug addicts are in Somaliland. Is that
Eh,
what you're saying?
Now, it's I will explain that when I come to.
But if
But
I mean,
you
like,
keep
I know
interrupting
that
me,
they.
Afrodamus. You
Okay,
don't
go
let me
ahead.
finish one sentence. Let me finish first, and then you ask me question.
Because you're cracking me up. But go ahead.
Let me speak, bro. Let me finish. Okay. Okay.
Rashid is funny.
Somalia and Ethiopia, we have really, interest to, like I said, we have business interest. We are very close than any other, region, country in that area. All the, the grocery comes from Hararge, from the Oromo region, all the way they come to Ethiopia, to Somalia. All these, like the vegetables, fruits, all that, they comes also from there. And Ethiopian Airlines also still functioning in Somalia. It goes to Mogadishu, all the way to Hargeisa, to Bosaso. So there is a Ethiopian airline also passed through to Somali airspace. So we have interest and common ground and all that. And also Somali people in Ethiopia is the third tribe in Ethiopia after Amhara, after Tigray, and after Oromo. Is the fourth tribe in Ethiopia and has the second largest region in Ethiopia. So the
Right.
Somali people are
That
also
makes
part
it
of
easy to
Ethiopian.
take it over now. Then.
But Somali people are also part of Ethiopian in making. The parliament leader in Ethiopia, I mean speaker in Ethiopia, is a Somali guy. The finance man in Ethiopia is a Somali guy. So Somali are also part of Ethiopia. So what I
Yeah,
was saying that.
but Rashid, you are ignoring like reality. I get what you're saying,
Yes.
but still, that did not stop the existence of a breakaway Somalia.
Like I said, I'm from there. So what I'm
A
saying is that
breakaway Somalia is in existence. That's what
yeah, it's
we
existent.
that's
Yes,
what we are going
yes,
by.
yes.
If that didn't exist, we wouldn't have, like, there wouldn't be any such thing as
Okay,
you know um Ethiopia signing a deal with you know other groups of people, right?
okay. Let me this thing, for example, the the is existing. I'm not saying it's not existing. Somaliland is existing, but it's not recognized.
Sure, I get that.
It's not recognized. So it still is a part of Somalia, as an politically, it's a part of Somalia. Even the deal that we made with Ethiopia, the 19%
Alpha
stake, is also signed by Hassan Mahmoud. Was signed that for us. He signed for us when he was on his first term when he was in office. He signed that deal. So
Is that
Ethiopia,
the Federal Republic of Somalia?
Rashid, one
Somalia
second.
signed. Yes,
Afidamas,
yeah, they signed for us. They signed that, and the
Rashid, just one
Emirati
second.
and don't
Afidamas,
interrupt me,
there's
please.
someone spamming in your chat.
There is who?
There's someone spamming in your chat. The people are complaining.
Oh,
Rashid, you can continue. Sorry.
Okay, brother. Okay, so what I was saying is that the Emirat also has a large portion of stake in the Berbera port. So Ethiopia also had 90% that stake. Like I said earlier, I don't want to repeat
but then
again.
why is there a problem now then?
Now the problem now is this guy Abiy Ahmed. He doesn't have. It's like a baby politics. He just ran to something. He ran to the war
Huh.
in Tigray. He ran the war to Amhara region. He is like he doesn't have stability. So what he wants is something that's not possible. How you sign a deal with us who are not recognized by internationally? We are not recognized. So how you sign a deal that you want to have a military base
So
over there?
so is Somaliland and Greater Somalia, which region is more stable?
The Somaliland is more stable when it comes to stability. Is our region is most stable, and there is a more stable because we don't have a Shabab over there. We have a really strong police and governing things, but we
Who
also have our
who
own
pays
issues.
who pays for those services?
The services actually. What do you mean by services?
Because like police and all that, like those Somaliland have its own army,
Yes,
its own standing army.
but you see, Somaliland
No,
was the
no, no.
the
What I
former.
mean, do they have their own standing army?
Yes, they have
Well, then
standing
they're
army.
they're their own country.
Yes, but it's not recognized. That's what I mean.
Okay, but they're
They're not
pretty
get
much
recognized.
their own.
Afidamas, doesn't make sense because
So,
the
so,
Puntland
so what
region
I
has
was
an army. Every region in Somalia has an army. It doesn't make
okay.
sense because
Let me finish
Somalia
this,
is
and
a
then
federation.
I will give you the mic when I'm almost done. So what we have is this the one. This is like the colonial when the British came to and the Italian, they divided the country into two regions. One was British and it was ruled in the northern side. So what happened now? The half of almost half of the Somaliland territory is broken. It's taken by its own people. Somaliland, still we also have our own problems. So now they have another region has break away from us too, and they call it SSC Katumo. They also break away from us, so they went in their own way. So we don't
So
have now
so this is just
it's
Greater
half now. It's
Somalia
half.
is just keep breaking up.
Yes, it's half now. We have half. We're controlling half of Somaliland. We don't even controlling the whole Somaliland now. We don't have that.
Well,
You see,
they broke away from Somaliland.
yes, and they call it SSC. You can Google it. SSC Katumo, KHATMO. They break away from us, and there was a war happened like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, and there was a bloody war happened there, and they captured their own land and they break away from us. So and they joined the Union of Somalia. So so what I was saying is that there is no like this. So this president in Somaliland, he's trying to escape from that. He wants to escape from that, and he wants to run to something else. And Abiy Ahmed also want to escape from his reality because the Amhara is
But
controlling part of.
it's very interesting that you guys have all these breakaway
Yes,
places.
because look, America, we live in America, right? You had how many times America
But you all these regions have their own army.
yes, they call it.
Now,
It's like
everything
national
makes
guard.
sense.
Like it's an election. It's like national guard. Ethiopia also have today. Ethiopia has the same thing. They call it killing. Every killing has their own military. Somali region now they have their own military. Amhara region they have their own military. The Oromo region has their own military. So that's why. But Somalia now.
But Ethiopia is more united
They've
as a
always had
country.
that.
So Ethiopia actually is not united now because Abiy Ahmed destroyed that. Abiy Ahmed destroyed it. It was united before Abiy Ahmed, but now Ethiopia is also a problem. They have problem within Ethiopia. So Abiy Ahmed is trying to run from that. He doesn't want to accept it.
I want to say,
So
how can you
I
say
finish now.
Ethiopia? How can you say Ethiopia is more united, where 1 million people have been killed because of Ethiopian division? I don't get it. Afrodamos, doesn't make sense.
Wait, let me
Have you?
ask this
Because
question.
it happened in one region.
Let me ask this question before we leave. Now, it's interesting. So, will Somalia ever unite?
Yeah, because
Is that
people
question
are
to me
for
or to this brother?
to the panel. To the panel, I
To the
think.
panel, we'll be closing here, but go ahead. You
I
love
think
snow.
I we love snowboarding. Okay, I think that's everybody's interest because like stable Somalia is really good for the region. It is good for
No, I'm
people
not saying
because
hypothetical what is good, like what, because all this, I'm hearing another breakaway region. You got Al Shabaab over there, so it's like a lot of breakaways. That's why I'm asking this question. It- you know, um,
I think everybody's interest is a stable Somalia where everybody benefit because Ethiopia will be more secure with stable Somalia, stronger Somalia. The whole region should uh, for sure the whole region should support stable unified Somalia where uh, peace because like uh, people should talk and it should be peace because like Ethiopia should come and talk with the Somalian Federal Republic. Like it should be peaceful and it should be a dialogue. People should
do,
have a
do you
dialogue
think do
because
you think Egypt should be removed from this conversation and let them mind their own business?
if you look at Turkey is the only one that
No, I'm
wants
talking about Egypt.
Egypt. The problem has nothing to do with Egypt because the problem
No,
about
Egypt is talking. Egypt is throwing shade at Ethiopia
Egypt is saying
on
that
behalf of Somalia.
behalf of Somalia, if Ethiopia declared war, they will come and support Somalia. That makes sense, but I think everybody should aim for a peace. No one want to see a war because I think war has destroyed the Horn of Africa. It is the most fragile region in the world. It is the most fragile region in the world, and we should aim for a peace because we should have a dialogue. I feel like dialogue is better than war because families die, kids die. We don't want that. We don't want to see that because the Horn of Africa has seen many wars in the 21st century.
Yeah, I mean that's normal over there now.
Uh, it shouldn't be normal because the
Right,
Horn of
but
Africa should.
I mean the world doesn't operate on shoots. I mean, like, that's just been the reality.
No, no, no. I feel like we should aim for peace. We should have a dialogue. I think that's the only way out. That's the best way for everyone.
Uh, Thank you for the super chat.
I'm gonna
MS Delta say Ethiopia, do what is in your best interest. Thank you. All right, thank you. You love Snow
Afidamos,
Bunny.
Afidamos, I want to say one thing. I want to say something before I end. I don't think if the federal government of Somalia is against Ethiopia having a port, but it have to be legal. It have to come through. They have to come and ask the Federal Republic of Somalia. they can't ask a breakaway region, and no one want to deny Ethiopia of a port. Everybody want Ethiopia to thrive, and
Except
because
Eritrea.
if Ethiopia thrives, the region it thrives. It's good for everyone, and no one wants deny Ethiopia of a port. They just have to come and ask the Federal Republic of Somalia.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna.
but the Federal Republic of Somalia doesn't have control over the entire Somalia, but that's another topic. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you much. All right. Nilotic. Go ahead, Nilotic.
Look, Aphrodamus, at the end of the day, Somaliland wants recognition, Ethiopia wants support. All this, why doesn't Abiy Ahmed go to the Somali president? Look, he doesn't want to pay for ports. He just wants to have free access, and Somaliland wants recognition. So why would he go to and talk to the Somali president when he can talk to the Somaliland guy? And if he can get it, that's up to him. But realistically, he probably will get it. Maybe not in the short term future, and maybe not this year. I mean, maybe not immediately, but by the end of this year, we'll all be here talking about Ethiopian troops in Somaliland and Ethiopia and Somaliland signing whatever and them starting their base. Because he needs this. If he cannot get this deal, I don't think he'll last in power for more than 2 years. Because just like the brother here said, he has more enemies around him in Ethiopia than he has allies. Even his allies are looking at him like, even his allies will not mind betraying him and throwing him under the bus if he can't get this deal done. He needs something at the end of his 5 years to at least go to the people. You know how every politician does and say, I achieved this or whatever. So if he can achieve this, it will mean a lot for his presidential candidacy, for his next re-election or whatever. And for the Somaliland guy, he also needs it because at least he can sell his people on recognition and so on. And it will also be good for a lot of these Somaliland politicians who benefit because they can now have a country that recognizes them. They can have companies in Ethiopia and getting investments from other countries. So it opens up a lot of business opportunities for them as well. So,
and do you like Egypt? Do you think
the
Egypt should
people
mind
in the higher positions between both countries? I mean, look, if you don't have a country that's recognized, it's hard for you to get a lot of foreign investment, right? If you have one country that recognizes you, you can use that country as a way of gaining foreign investments from other countries. Somaliland already has a lot of business connections with the UK and so on. So that money could come through Ethiopia to Somaliland. So there's a lot of benefits that comes for the Somaliland elites and a lot of benefits that will come for Abiy and his circle. So they have a lot of skin riding on this. It's not something that they'll just back down from because if either of them back down, like they might not be president for long in their respective countries.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much.
And Adamus, realistically, Somalia can't do shit. Like there's like 40,000 Ethiopian troops living in Somalia right now. So there's no war about to happen between Somalia and Ethiopia. Like this is not the 1970s with Siad Barre. Like Somalia was a much more powerful country back then than it is today.
Yeah. Well, that's why they ran to Egypt, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Egypt can't. Well, no country can afford to fight right now. In most countries, like unless you're America or one of the elite nations. Turkey has its own economic situation. Egypt has its own economic situation. Ethiopia has a lot of internal conflict. So I don't think it will get to a war, but who knows?
Rashid, you said you wanted to ask him
anyway,
something.
Yeah. Before he go, yes. Do you know why? What mandate the Ethiopian troops are in Somalia? Do you know what mandate they are over there?
I can't hear you. What?
Do you know what mandate they are in Somalia? Those Ethiopian troops.
Oh, you asking like what's their mandate there?
Yeah. Do you know the mandate? Yeah, their mandate. Why? Yes, to stay in over there.
What is their mandate? Aren't they with the AU or UN, whoever?
Yes. If you don't know, I will explain it to you. They are over there because the African Union, they are with the umbrella of African Union. If Somalia today say get out of this country, they will go right away because they are in the mandate of African
Yeah, but you
Union.
can't.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say. They are in the mandate of that. So if Somalia today, Ethiopia, like I said, today is Abiy Ahmed, his military is very weak today. Ethiopia is not strong like in the 80s or in the 90s. Ethiopia is very weak today. The Tigray kicked Ethiopia military out. Tigray, who is a small tribe in that region, kicked out the Ethiopian military. What do you think Somalia has today? A lot
Brother,
of Turkish
brother. Okay, look,
train.
I agree with you.
Somalia today has drones, has a lot of things. What do you think?
Brother,
The
I agree
Tigray
with you, but
look,
this
let me
is
finish.
also
I
a
didn't interrupt
reality.
you. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish. The Tigray today kicked them Ethiopia military out of the region. How they can? Ethiopia is weak military
The
economically.
Ethiopian army is there right
Ethiopia
now. What are you
today,
talking about?
look, Ethiopia today is very weak. Ethiopia has no value. They don't
Afrikaans.
have money today. Ethiopia has no money. Even they
No
struggle
country in
to
Africa
pay
has
their.
that much money anyway. What?
No, Ethiopia today is very
Rashid,
weak.
the Ethiopia. Okay, can you let me speak,
Who are you?
Rashid?
What tribe are you?
I'm Gurage, bro.
Oh, Gurage.
What difference does that make?
Gurage is nothing in Ethiopia. It's a small tribe. It's a very small tribe.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't have, you have no that. You don't have that authority even to speak for Ethiopia. Ethiopia, the Amhara and the Oromo.
But Rashid, you gotta let him talk too.
So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. He's going on like 20
Gurage is
miles
a
an
small
hour.
tribe.
Yeah, Rashid, you gotta let him respond to you.
Okay,
though.
okay.
Didn't the Tigray war end? Aren't Ethiopian troops in Tigray right now?
Right.
What are you talking about? Ethiopian troops are literally distributing aid food in Tigray right now. That place is not a threat. At one point it was, yes. And when you talk about the Somali army, bro, the Ethiopian troops right now in Somalia giving towns
they are very
curfews
the mandate
as we speak, bro.
of African Union.
Brother, can you let me finish? The Ethiopian troops, bro,
Rashid, you gotta.
Afidamas, you can Google this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not even the African troops. There's literally an Ethiopian base in the Somali border on the Somali side to prevent Al-Shabaab guys from crossing the border. Like, bro, the Ethiopian army is on your territory, bro. They're giving towns on your border curfews and telling your people when to go to bed on your own country. Like, you're not going to fight a war. Stop the cap. Like, be realistic. You don't have an army that can sustain a war, even for 2 days, let alone, like, just the Ethiopian military base in Ogaden itself can come and invade most of your towns on your border, bro. Like, be honest with yourself.
Okay, if you are Greg, I cannot talk. I don't want to talk to you because I cannot debate with you because you are a minority in Ethiopia.
But he's Ethiopian.
You have no.
But Rashid,
you are no authority.
Rashid, he's Rashid is
very minority
Ethiopian.
tribe.
So
he's a very minority tribe. He cannot have authority.
So minority tribe cannot talk.
Somalia, Ethiopia have more power than this guy. We have in the parliament of Ethiopia. We have the finance minister. Who he has? He has nothing. This guy has no.
Afidamas,
The
you can literally Google
Amhara
this.
tribe
Afidamas, please just Google this.
You see, the Amhara tribe colonized this guy. So I don't want to debate with someone who is the minority tribe in Ethiopia.
How can
nothing?
Afidamas, I touch his soul when he starts debating tribes now. But Afidamas, you can literally Google this. The richest tribe in Ethiopia per capita is Guragis, bro. Guragis in Ethiopia live better lives than Somali. Yes, you have like 2 ministers. That's cool. But the average person in Ethiopia would rather be a Gurage than a Somali, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. But even that doesn't matter. Just look at your country, bro. The Ethiopian army is giving curfews in your own homeland, bro. Like, you trying to fight them wouldn't make sense when they're literally keeping your capital from being invaded by Al-Shabaab.
Tell me one general that.
Okay, cool.
One general.
We still live a better life on average than you.
Tell me one minister other than
the education minister.
You have only the spokesman.
The education minister.
Guys, don't.
You are a small minority.
Afidamas, you notice how I give him points and his only response is your Gurage.
Okay, what state you have in Ethiopia? Tell me what state you have.
We're spread all over. We don't live in one place, bro. What are you talking about?
But
we don't even have a state.
Okay, then what are you talking about? What authority do you have?
Rashid. He's talking Rashid. Yes. So his tribesmen that are in the Ethiopian army, for example, he's right there out there telling those Somalis to go to bed at what time. He's
Abu
he's
Dhamas, you're
speaking.
giving them
He's an
questions.
He's not
Ethiopian,
even Ethiopian.
but all you can say is he's from a minority tribe. Minority tribes are in the army too.
He doesn't have anything. This guy, the tribe doesn't have anything. Actually, they are
Abu
colonized by
But
Dhamas,
they are
Amhara.
please.
Amhara
Ethiopians,
tribe
though, right?
between. Yeah, he's laughing because you see,
Look,
he
brother,
knows the
you
truth.
and
He
I
knows
both
the
know
truth.
if
I
you're
can
in
debate with
Ethiopia,
Amhara. I
most
can
of your
debate with
Somali
Oromo
friends try
guys,
and
but
pass
not
for
this guy.
Guragis to even get by in Ethiopia, bro. Stop pretending you're something you're not. Like this, most people would rather kill themselves in Ethiopia
Because
than be
Amhara
Somali, bro.
today,
What are
Amhara
you
people
talking about?
they know debate. They know their problem. Ethiopia is breakaway by themselves. It's failed country, has more issues. The Amhara region now Fano. Who's Fano? Is it
And this
Ade
failed
Gurage?
Afidamas, isn't it
Who's
funny?
Fano?
Afidamas,
Who's Fano? Who's Fano?
Ethiopia is a failed country.
Ethiopia is
Afidamas,
failed
Ethiopia is
country
a
today.
failed
The
country.
failed
Okay.
country.
Brother, can I finish a sentence?
Okay.
Afidamas, Ethiopia is a failed country. Okay. But the military of that failed country is still in his country giving his people curfews. Isn't that crazy? So if we're a failed country, what does that make you? Failed country squared times
Okay.
two.
Number one. Okay. Let me tell you. Okay. Let me answer. First of all, you are a scared guy. Can you open your camera because you speak in a voice with voice changer. You talking about voice changer. You don't even have you scared about even your own voice. You don't have that. You even use the voice changer. You scared.
Afidamas, he's
You
going to
said
beat me
one
up
time
now.
you said you are Nilotic. You are not Ethiopian even. You say you are Nilotic. Why don't you say
What did I
Gurage?
say? Afidamas, haven't I always said
Is
I'm
Gurage
Ethiopian?
Nilotic? They're
Haven't you always
Habasha.
known me for being
Why
Ethiopian?
don't you have your own tribe? Why don't you have your own tribe?
What
Proud
is
to be.
Afidamas, what is this guy?
You have inferior complex. You cannot say you are even Ethiopian. You say
Of
I'm
who?
Nilotic. I'm Nilotic. I'm Nilotic. Who's Nilotic? Nilotic is South
Afidamas.
Sudanese. It's South Sudan. Even the picture that you have is an Nilotic guy. Is from South Sudan. Are you South Sudanese? Damn you, stupid.
Yes, I have an inferior.
Well,
Afidamas, apparently I
yeah.
have an inferiority
Look
complex
me.
to
Look
South
my picture.
Sudanese
Look,
now.
I don't
Okay.
scare. Look. I don't scare.
Okay,
Can
good
you
for
show
you
your
then.
face? Can you show
Wait,
your face?
but wait a minute. I'm confused. Okay, so is
He wants to fight now.
okay, like we were saying there's gonna be peace in the Horn of Africa, but obviously um we're seeing Rashid wants Nilotic to open up his camera. He went on to open his camera. Do you guys imagine how these conversations will go if Ethiopians remind the Somalis of how they give them coffee?
Afidamas, though, did I start this fight? Afidamas, I just stated facts. He got angry and now he wants to fight. This is what 6-3 I do.
How I fight with you? You are Gurage tribe. How I fight with you? How I fight with you? Tell me. I'm a big Somali. We are this giant Somali tribe who are in Ethiopia, who are in Djibouti, who are in Kenya, who
Afidamas,
are in Somalia, who
Afidamas,
have
I think I might have a
United
picture of
Nations,
myself.
who have two United Nations sit. We have two sit in the United Nations. That's Somali people. Come on, man.
They have 2 seats. Afidamas, they have 2 seats in the United Nations, man.
Yes, that's
Somalia is already
obvious. That's obvious.
Afidamas, by the way, do you want me to show him a picture of myself?
Look, show me
Here's a
your
picture
face.
of myself, Afidamas.
Show your face.
Afidamas, that's me.
Guys. All right, guys. This closing statements have been wild so far, but thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, brother, this is what I look like. You can
So you see,
send your Somali.
Rashid, you guys are
You can send your
cousins.
Somali hitman for me now.
Yeah, go ahead, Afrodam.
Huh? Rashid, you guys are cousins.
He can send his Somali hitman after me now.
You see,
I'll be scared. Afidamas, I'm gonna go into hiding now.
don't hide, man. Don't scare from me. Don't scare, man. Don't scare.
I'm threatened.
But
Al Shabaab is after me, Afidamas.
Yes,
Rashid, are you like so are you tribalist?
I am tribalist. Yes.
So like tribes whose numbers are not, they don't have a lot of numbers, they're not allowed to speak.
No, they don't have authority to speak. Like for example,
wait.
now
So you're against freedom
in
of
Nigeria,
speech
you have
then?
Yoruba, you have Hausa, you have Igbo. If imagine a small tribe in Lagos or live in Lagos, he talk here about Nigeria. Do you listen to him?
But if they are Nigerian.
Afidamas, though. Afidamas, you know what the funny thing is?
So Rashid,
Afidamas,
go ahead.
Afidamus, you know what the funny thing is? Most of his Somali brothers in Ethiopia want to pass themselves off as Gurage so that they can get benefits. Because Gurages, on average, live better lives than them. And you know, if you're a Somali in Ethiopia, sometimes you will be discriminated on. So certain places, they will pass themselves off because there are Gurage tribes that can pass off for Somalis too, to be fair. So I don't know why he's coming at me like this. I'm just telling him fact. Gurages are held in more high esteem than Somalis in Ethiopia, bro. You can be sad, you can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, we're still a part of the Habesha clan. So it's hard luck for you, bro. And on top of that, I can just claim Amhara if I want to, because I'm still half Amhara. But I'd rather claim my father's side. At the end of the day, bro, look,
Do you guys think
the
there's
Ethiopian
more
army is
and
giving
more
curfew. Afidamus, can you just address this? Afidamus, can you just get him to address this? Why is the Ethiopian army giving curfews to your brothers in Somalia in their own country, bro?
Okay.
Why is the failed country's army giving curfews?
Okay. I answered that. Somali troops from Somali region helped you in your own Gondar area where the Gurage lives, where the Amhara lives. They rescue you from the Tigray when they were invading you, and they were helping you there too. There were Somali troops from Somali region.
Afidamus, do you genuinely believe this?
You see?
So
you think
Rashid,
Somali troops were helping?
So Rashid, do you like go by tribe over there in Somalia?
Yeah, Somalia is one tribe. We are
They have
one
clans.
tribe. It's a Somali tribe. Yeah, Somali is one tribe. He's one tribe. He's a Gurage tribe. And
But you have clans.
You see, like you are
Afidamus,
Soninke tribe, right?
Afidamus, they don't go by tribes, but they have their own clans.
Tribe,
so
right?
In Somaliland, Afidamus, in Somaliland, they have the Isak tribe. I mean, the Isak clan.
That is a family. That's
even though they're one tribe, they still have clans, which is basically the same as tribes.
You have Gurage also, Sultani. You have different tribes.
No, like Rashid,
yes,
like you asked Rashid,
don't.
for example, right? Rashid, like for example, okay, sure, I'm from a different tribe, but like somebody else from my country, like they're from another tribe, but we all identify as Gambian. Like it doesn't matter what their number is in the country or not. Like, you know, like the person can speak, I can speak. It doesn't matter, you know, like what tribe you're from.
Even for them, as you are a minority in Gambia, Soninke has no power there too. You know.
See, but again, so what do you consider to be power? Like, what do you consider to be power?
It's the largest tribes.
So it goes by large. So for you, it's about numbers. How come? So like look at the Jews. They have small number, but they control places.
They don't
wherever they are.
There are many controls.
Oh, so why don't you look up in Gambia? You know what the status of Soninkes are financially. Then we can talk.
Oh, okay. If you are financially, that's different case.
Look, but still, even without this, if people, it doesn't matter. Like in Gambia,
but you have Bambara.
Like,
you have.
For example, like you know, it doesn't matter what tribe the person is from. Like we just see each other as Gambian. Yes, we understand this person. But we see each other as the same. Like we go by a nationality.
Afidamus, can I ask?
No,
Afidamus, can I ask Rashid what his
clan is? By the tribe. It go by the tribe.
No, we don't.
So,
go ahead now.
Afidamus, can you please ask Rashid what his clan is?
Don't, brother Nalatik, let me tell you. Somali, you misunderstand.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What's your clan? I'm not asking your tribe. Obviously, you're one tribe. What's your clan?
You don't know? Well, if I say to you, do you know it? Do you know the clans? The clans is something.
That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, what's your clan in Gurage? What's your clan?
I'm Sabatpet.
Who?
So
you wouldn't know, like, but I'm Sabatpet.
So like Rashid. So Rashid, then the people that
what's your clan?
And said the Jerer.
Wait, Damas, he still hasn't answered my question. What's your clan? I told you mine.
I told you I'm from Somaliland.
Oh, so you're Isak?
Yes, I'm from there. I told you who I am. So what I'm saying is that
are you Isak?
So after Damas, Africa is a tribe. Africa is a tribal, right?
No, but we understand, but we don't go by that. Like for example, let's say like there's election, right? I wouldn't care like
Majority
what
will win.
tribe. No, that's not true. Not always.
It's always that.
Like you know, our former president Yahya Jammeh, he was from a minority tribe.
I know he was Jolo.
Jola, and he kept
Jola.
winning. I'm just saying, like he wins. Like people vote for you.
But
It
Jammeh,
doesn't matter.
he had a coup d'etat though. He did coup d'etat.
Yeah, initially, but then
Yes.
he became he left the army. He became a Democrat, and he was contesting in elections, and people voted for him. They didn't care about what tribe he was from. We go
Yeah, if
by, we see each other as nationality. You
but
don't
on the ground,
so Rashid, let me ask you this. So in Somalia, so a Jerer will not have a say in Somali affairs.
oh, they have. You see,
But they're a minority.
Yeah, they're a minority. Actually, they live predominantly in the south of Somalia. And the Cherer, they don't only live in Somalia, they also live in Ethiopia. They call it Gambela.
Wait, Rashid.
They live in the
Afidamas.
they live also in over there.
Afidamas, do you see DG's comment? Afidamas, do you see
I'll give it
DG's
to you, bro.
comment? Can you please bring it up?
I'll give it to you.
Where he says Rashid is also a minority.
No.
Rashid, someone's accusing you of also being a minority.
I'm the majority.
But he's going to be a minority. He's also a minority.
I'm a Somali
tribe.
I'm a Somali tribe, so I'm a majority. So what I'm saying is that the Cherer are a small minority tribe. They live in Somalia, but they are also Somali citizens. They are Somali citizens. And we love them.
They are our people. But all of us that you say were minorities, we are citizens in our countries too. You do realize that, right?
The African American as a citizen in America, they are minority. So what is the same like that?
But they have a say here in America.
No, they don't have a say in the Senate.
What?
How many senators you have? Black
it doesn't matter.
Zero.
Do you follow U.S. politics?
Of course, I live in America 30 years.
So you don't think so? Black senators don't have a say.
No, there's no senator. How many senators they have in the Senate?
Even there's even a black. Okay, wait.
How many they have?
Ilhan Omar. Wait, even Ilhan Omar.
She's a Congress. I'm talking about.
Wait. Okay, even in America, she's way minority, and she's able to talk.
You can talk, but you don't have. Do you have who have the last signature?
Oh, now you're changing it. Let's bring in Kifaru.
Afidamas, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
You now understand why the Ishaqs in Somaliland want to leave. Because even he's admitting to you that if you're a minority, you have no power in Somalia. So
right.
That's why they want to break away and leave.
Right.
Look, Somalis as one tribe. I told you before. Somalis.
No. Rashid. There's not Rashid.
It's a family.
Rashid, you yourself admit there is Jerer. So it's not one tribe.
Jerer is another tribe, though. It's another tribe.
Okay, let's bring in Kifaru too. Kifaru, welcome to the Afridamus report. Kifaru, what do you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the sea border thing, like the Ethiopian president is mourning. But this is the thing: he can't do nothing if Ethiopia gets access to the sea with Somaliland. I think that's just it's a cry for help. It's talking about the Arab League. The Arab League.
So do you think he ran to Egypt as their white zaddy for help?
Yeah, if Egypt would not get involved, Egypt would never get
involved.
Their
president is talking tough.
Yeah, it's just because they have their own little thing with Ethiopia, but they will not involve. He's talking about the Arab League. We all see how the Arab League is helping Palestine. It's just something that they pick their battles. There's no Arab League.
Yeah, but Egypt can feel like, hey, this is just some Negro country over there. We got a chance against them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that they will get involved. To me,
they're not gonna fight. They're not gonna fight Israel. We know that, but they might feel cocky and be like, "Look, man, let's go kick some, Negro
Well,
ass over there.
yeah, I don't think any African country, no matter how good they think they are militarily, is capable of fighting any African country. They don't have the money to waste the
They have the
economy.
strongest. They have the strongest army in Africa. You
Well,
know that,
that's
right?
my.
Afidamas,
Even
if that's the
Yeah,
case,
but that is just due
Afidamas,
to.
you
Let me
you say
finish the
Egypt.
analogy. They say that it's just due to like maybe the technology, their equipment. But when you go to fight, there's so many other things that you take into
I don't think if
consideration.
didn't you see the Somali president
I
taking
saw
off,
him.
running
I saw
to
him.
Egypt? Do you not think he
Yeah,
knows
I think he's
something?
just trying to think to tell Ethiopia, okay, we've got Egypt on our side. So if you try to do something, they're going to help us. But I don't think Egypt will stay aside. So, but to me, what I'm trying to say, I think is good for that region, for Ethiopia to peacefully, Somalia, to peacefully give Ethiopia access to the sea. Ethiopia is a really important country in the Horn of Africa that, to me, they should be having a problem with the access to the sea. I think they messed up in the future, right, in the past, to have to not be able to get
Can
access
I?
to the sea, So to me, it's something that they should do it now. I think the
Yeah,
truth is
but
they're
we,
taking
but we're not
advantage.
operating. We're not
That's
operating in the should world, like
well,
as you
they're
can
taking
see.
advantage. I know something that I know clearly.
Can I?
Ethiopia is taking advantage because Somaliland it's the way it is, so they want to use that as a shortcut to have access to the sea. To me, it's fair enough. They're just trying to take what is good for them at this moment in time. So I think that if they want to do it, they will do it, and Somalia will do nothing about it. They will just talk and start going to court, like complaining to international organization and things like that. That's how it's going to end.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, I have to
Yeah,
leave. Can I just say one thing?
go ahead.
Kifaru was right because the RSF has been winning all its fights in Sudan and has been taking over most of Sudan right now, even though Egypt has been backing the other military guy. So if Egypt is so strong, how come the guy they're backing in Sudan isn't winning?
Good question. Thank you.
Well,
All right.
I was about to say,
Go ahead, Dad.
well, he left. I was about to say, welcome back, Nilotic, and all that stuff. It's good to have another fellow Marxist in the channel and all that stuff.
You are a
Another fellow
Marxist?
socialist. Yeah, he definitely has some Marxist.
Wait, are you a
socialist.
Marxist?
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm anything, but my politics tends to lean towards socialism, Marxist, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, let's
Hello.
hear your point. Go
Can
ahead.
I join?
Well, I can say
Nadir,
if you
Ahmed, 1 second. Okay, Ahmed, 1 second. I see you there.
well, what I can say,
Dad, go ahead so that Ahmed also can chime in. Go ahead.
yeah, what I can say it's interesting if you want to analyze reasons that Egypt can have towards having a confrontation with Ethiopia, is the fact that Ethiopia is building a dam in the Nile River, and Egypt wants any excuse that they can get to have to blow up that dam.
So, do you think Ethiopia should just go and take that, land since they, Somaliland agreed to sign it with them?
No, I heard there was some kind of disgruntled relationships. I don't know. I heard from somebody that Eritrea.
No,
was
what I'm
offering
saying,
them.
do you think they should just ignore Egypt and give them the middle finger and just go take what belongs to them?
Should they ignore Egypt and just do that? Well, they better prepare for the consequences because Egypt will prepare. Egypt will prepare because Egypt wants to blow up the dam that's blocking the Nile River, and Ethiopia doing that is just an excuse for them to engage in that kind of warfare as well. Ethiopia have engaged and built a nice dam that's supposed to provide them electricity, but it's blocking Egyptian irrigation and all that, blocking the Nile River. So they will take any excuse, any small excuse needed to blow up that dam. So that
Dad, what do you make of Somalia being a full-blown Arab nation? Among Ethiopia is
Somalians,
black, African.
yeah.
Somalia is Arab.
Somalians always blame Ethiopia for bringing in foreigners to help them defend against the fight with Somalia. Because Somalians are always saying, "Oh, Ethiopians I went to the white people and got the Orthodox Christians in Russia to help them to fight against us." Now look, Somalians are going to the Arabs to get help from Arabs to fight the Ethiopians.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Okay, come on in, Ahmed. Ahmed, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the UK.
Where are you? Ethiopian, Somali, or Eritrean?
I am a Somali.
Somaliland or Greater Somalia?
I'm both from Somaliland and Somalia South.
Okay.
Both
All right.
sides.
So, what is your take on this topic? Ethiopia wanted access to the sea, and they signed the deal. I mean, they are denying that it's a deal, but they want access to it. So what's your take?
Okay, where you need to start from the genesis of this, right? You can't just start when the deal happened, right? The Prime Minister of Ethiopia have been saying 6 months prior to the MOU, he's been saying he's gonna take a sea by force or by peaceful. Hear me out, right?
Okay.
He did not make it secret. He said we are 120 million people, and we're gonna be 150 million people in 20, 30 years time, and we must have a sea by force or by peaceful. That means he's looking for a land and territory that he annexed, and you can go and check it out.
But he said he's not annexing. He said it's for commercial.
Listen. Now he's saying this. 6 months ago, he's been saying that. Listen, naval base and military base is not for commercial. Let's not kid ourselves, right? The other thing is there are 4 oil blocks where this guy wants to take, which each one of them has more than 10 billion barrels of oil. Do you understand? Somalia are not stupid. We're not stupid. Do you understand?
But what do you make of Somaliland signing the deal, though?
Hold on. There's no Somali, so-called Somaliland. Stop saying so. Look, can we make a deal with Amhara region? Can Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud go to Amhara region and make a deal? Can he go to Tigray region and make a deal?
But they are not a full breakaway yet.
Listen. Do you know Kurdistan in Iraq? Right?
Yeah.
Kurdistan has got its own administration, just like Somaliland, right? But it's still part of Iraq. Nobody can go there and make a deal with them. Nobody. Do you understand? They're part of Iraq. This is a bullshit. It's like I'm going to Catalonia and say, Catalonia, I'm going to make a deal. Catalonia, I disregard the government of Spain. Or I'm going to go to Northern Ireland, I'm going to make a deal. Or Scotland, I'm going to disregard the UK government. Listen, this is a blatant attack to Somalia territory.
So do you think Somalia's president should have ran to Egypt for help?
Listen, let me tell you one thing, right? In the history of Somalia, we have never needed anybody to support us against Ethiopia, right? Why now? The reason why we need now is because we are engaged with war with Al-Shabaab terrorist groups, right? We are trying
Which Ethiopia is helping you guys in.
No, listen. I've been hearing a guy saying 40,000 Ethiopian. It's a bullshit. It's 3,000 Ethiopian troops under the umbrella of the African Union. Under the umbrella.
Yes, they have they have that one, and also the one they signed with Ethiopia. It's under AU and with Ethiopia.
No, listen.
Read it. Have you read it?
Oh, I've read it. I'm from Somalia, bro. You can't tell me about my own country.
I mean, it's online. Like, you can read this literally.
Listen, there is 3,000 Ethiopian troops that are under the Amazon, right? There are historical misguiding here. Look, Africa. I've been hearing you saying Africa Africa is black. There's no black Africa. Let me tell you one thing.
But why did Somalia run to the Arabs then, and they're Arab country?
Let me finish.
Okay.
Egypt is as African as you are. Listen, all Asian, they don't look like
I am
each
a
other.
proud black African.
Hold on. All Asian, they don't look like each other. India and China don't look like each other. China, Japan, and Saudi Arabia, they don't look like each other. But they are all Asian. But you can't accept the fact someone has got a little bit lighter skin than you, to be an African? Come on, Africa is a continent. It's not. I've been seeing all of this sickness of blackness of West African, saying anybody that don't look like us is not African. Where did you get that concept from? Where did you get that concept from? Africa is a continent. It's not a race. You need to get that into your head.
But
You
is
understand?
Somalia
Look,
an Arab
look,
nation, though?
listen. Let me tell you one thing. We are proud to be an Arab nation. We're proud to be an African. Do you have a
Yeah,
problem
that's all
with
I'm
that?
asking.
Listen. Let me tell
There's
you one
no
thing.
problem.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. What's the so-called Arabs today? Do you know their history? Have you read their
Well,
history?
well, we
Have
can
you?
only go
No,
by what they
no, no.
that we know they
Do
are
you know?
Arabs today.
Do you? Okay. Do you know the history of the Arabs? The
Um,
so-called Arabs. They're not all Arabs. Egypt are not Arab. Algeria are not Arab. Moroccans
the
are not Arab.
majority there today is Arab. I'm
No,
very
no,
aware of their
no.
history.
Listen. I know the depth of this topic, right? And I've studied it. Listen, Arabism is anybody that speaks. If you speak Arabic and you are in the Arab League, you are an Arab.
But
Simple as that.
do Somalia speak Arabic?
No, we don't speak Arabic, but we are in the Arab League.
Yeah. So, but you said anyone that speaks it. So, because Ahmed, what do you think about
The
Ahmed? What
reason
do you
is,
think about this? Right?
yeah,
I came up with this. It's just I'm not saying this is the concrete thing, but
yeah,
you know how like you made a good point saying, yeah, people, why us in West African, like this is sub-Saharan, people, we see ourselves as the real Africans. So,
yeah.
for example, Ethiopia.
Mm.
Ethiopia is not in another league, it's in the African League. So I was
You want
saying
me?
that, wait, I
You want
was
me to
saying
send to
that,
you? Do you want
oh,
me to
oh,
send to you an Ethiopian saying we are not Negroes, we are
yes,
not African?
is
Have
that
you
the
not
one
seen it?
from, yes, I've seen
Yeah.
that. But what
Okay.
I'm saying is officially, official documentation, like officially, Somalia is
Yeah.
considered an Arab nation, right?
Yeah.
Officially, politically and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like we heard Al-Sisi said, you touch Somalia, it's like touching our brother. And when Somalia thought Ethiopia is gonna invade them, the president ran, to the other way.
I tell you, brother, the history we have with the Arabs, Ethiopia don't have with the Arabs.
No,
Right?
no, I
When
know,
hold on, hold on,
but just hear me
let me
out.
tell
Hear
you.
me
No,
out.
no,
Hear me out.
okay, look, okay.
Hear me out. So, for example, would it be crazy for like African Union, African people that they're like to say, okay, Ethiopia is an African country that is been blocked sea access by an Arab nation in Africa, which is Somalia.
Okay.
Like, do
But
you
it's,
not? Would that
yeah,
make sense if they say that?
no, but equally, Egypt is an African nation.
No, no, no.
Let's make
Egypt is an
let
Arab country.
no. Arab is not a continent, for God's sake. Is
No,
Arab a
no.
continent?
Egypt is an Arab
No.
nation.
Hold on. Arab is
The president said it.
okay.
Al-Sisi said it.
Can I ask you a question? Is Africa a continent or a race? I ask you a question.
Africa, as far as I know, is a continent.
Okay, Africa, if it is continent, Egypt is North Africa.
But when
What makes
you in the
okay? What
dictionary
makes
when you look at for African, if you Google African and you look at image, even like in this encyclopedia, they would show you like somebody from Nigeria.
no? Stop the imaginary.
Yeah, I think,
No,
can
really,
I just
like,
say this, Fredamus?
huh?
I've noticed, I don't know why mostly people from Somalia, they're always trying to defend Egypt to be Africans. Egyptians themselves will not tell you, all this Egypt is
Brother, let me
Africa. Let me finish. You don't
okay,
hear it from them. They will
okay.
tell you how proud Arab they are. Even during the World Cup, they won and say, "Whoa, this win is for Arab." They tell you they feel more Arab than African. So I don't understand why, especially mostly people from. Let me finish. People from.
Okay.
Let me
Is there a
finish.
continent?
People
Is
from
there a continent
Somalia
called Arab?
always want. You are the ones that always trying to defend them to be Africans. They themselves they don't. So why do you do that? What's your point? Why do you always do
Okay.
No,
that?
because it's
They
an
tell you
Arab
themselves.
nation.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing. North Africa, are they in Africa or are they not? I'm asking you. North
Okay,
Africa.
I'm gonna ask you the same question before I answer your question. Okay, there are
Okay.
black people
First,
in Europe.
let's welcome
I
to
ask you.
Naja.
Wait,
Let's welcome to
listen. Let me
Naja.
just answer your. Ask you. There are a lot of black people in Europe. Are they Europeans?
That's bullshit. It's not the same.
No. Wait,
No,
answer
it's
my
not the
no.
same.
Listen.
No,
It's a simple logic. I ask you. There are a lot of black people that have been in Europe for a long time. Are they Europeans? Yes or no?
we came here as immigration, right?
I'm not caring about who came here or who not. Ask my question. There are a lot of black people in Europe who have been in Europe for generations. Are they Europeans?
You guys are out of topic.
You don't want to answer a simple question. That's good.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, no. The problem is you guys are twisting and making the continent of Africa is just one homogenic ethnic group. If you don't look like
Yeah,
this group, you're not
just
African.
because see, we know there's diversity in Africa. We see that. We understand there's diversity. But that does not mean everyone in that continent is the same. Okay. But
Okay, do they
yeah,
have
so
do
that
they have
continent, the example I said,
it,
Africa is a continent. Listen, Africa
okay.
is a black continent. That is
Kifaru,
just
you are out of topic, bro.
European is a white continent. I ask you a simple question. There are many black people of generation in Europe. Are they
I
Europeans?
ask,
They are not.
I ask you the similar question. Africa and Asia is different than Europe. Europe is very small place. Look, 5 countries in Africa are the size of the whole of Europe.
But
Five
Europe is
countries.
not small.
Okay.
Europe is
It's
not
very
small
small.
if you add in
But
Russia and if you add in the line
listen.
size.
Russia is not in Europe. Do you
Well,
understand?
but
Russia is not
those are
in Europe.
white people. See, if you
Okay,
take the
Russia.
population of those,
Hold on,
Russia.
guys.
Russia, they have
Don't
Asia
forget
as
the
well.
topic. Let's stick with the topic here.
Yeah, okay. The topic is Somalia and this deal, right? I am
Yeah.
telling you.
So you're from Somaliland, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, but
Somaliland made this deal.
mm,
Yes.
yes.
Somaliland made the deal with, you know, with Ethiopia.
Okay.
So I made this analogy. I said, okay, it looks like Ethiopia, which is an African country, is not part of any other league but the African stuff. So does that mean Somaliland, you know, part of, are they, when they become independent, are they going to be part of an Arab, are they going to be an
Listen.
Arab nation, or they going to go with where Ethiopia is,
Okay.
and become an
Let me
fully
let me tell
African
let me
nation?
tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing, right? The
Mhm.
Somalis does not need anybody to bring troops and help them. If we get the weapon, we will defeat Ethiopia and we will beat them. We always beat them. Everybody knows. You understand? They come to Mogadishu with the help of America and Great Britain. What happened to them? 26,000 of them has been slaughtered, right? And they begged for an exit. Everybody knows.
No, but they
Everybody
are
knows.
invited this
Listen,
time. They are invited by
listen.
Somaliland
No,
to come in.
listen. Have you not seen
Firdaus,
the
can I
people?
answer
Have you seen? Have you not seen the people in Somaliland protesting against this idiot who's in power, who run out of his mandate is run out. He's trying to link on power. He's trying to pass it on to his son and get Ethiopian troops to help him to pass the power to his son. Listen, there's the whole, even the Somaliland itself will, be only minority are supporting this guy. His time is gone. It's finished. He can't stay in power. He has to allow election to take place. So he's scapegoating. So as Abiy Ahmed, do you understand? Abiy Ahmed, his own ethnic group, Oromo, he does not control. They have 21 regions. He only controls 3 of them. 18 regions is out of his hand. The whole of Amhara is
Firdaus, I'll
out
be
of his
back,
hand.
okay? I'm gonna pray and come back.
Okay.
The whole
But what I'm saying, like I noticed, like the Somali president said, Ethiopia is their neighbor from a long time ago, right? But he's not speaking to the neighbor. He went to Egypt, who's
listen,
considering Somalia.
no,
I mean,
but what is
you missed the interview. I played it.
They
Yeah,
asked him.
I was listening.
Okay.
I was even I listened the whole thing. I was trying to get into the studio anyway. But let me tell you one thing: the president of Somalia, he said we had a dark history, thousands of years of history, right?
No,
We
no,
don't
he
want to
didn't.
go.
No, wait. You're talking about a different video. I'm talking when he was in the Al Jazeera studios.
Yeah.
He said Ethiopia is
Listen.
our neighbors. You know,
Okay.
we've had
I
brotherly.
ask you. I ask you question. I ask you question. I'm telling you, President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, he does not mind Ethiopia to use the port in Somaliland, and that money goes to the people of Somaliland. He does not mind. But what Abiy Ahmed he wants is a territory which he will build his own port, and he does not need the Somali port. He does not need the Djibouti port. He does not need the Kenyan port. He will have his own port. This idiot who's sitting, he's not even helping himself. Look, the Berbera port, Ethiopia will no longer need it if he's given this land 20 kilometers. He will build a naval base. He will build a commercial port, and he does not need any port from anybody, right? Djibouti alone, they are making $2 billion a month, a year, $2 billion a year annually, right? From Ethiopia. And this guy, he's giving a 2 billion away every single year to Ethiopia, Musa Bihi. He's an idiot. He's a dickhead. I'm telling you, he doesn't know anything about business.
But that's why he made it. That's why he made a better deal with Somaliland.
Listen. But I'm talking about the Somaliland leader. He's an idiot. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying he's giving away. Don't you think he's looking for recognition?
What's the recognition in Ethiopia? They people who can't even have an anjera on their mouth. I don't recognize. What is it? Do you think Ethiopia is United States of America or United Kingdom? Come on, man. Ethiopia recognizes. Then what? Who else was going to recognize you? Ethiopia, Neil. I mean, I don't know.
So you saying? Are you saying the leadership in Somaliland? You know, their move was. Are you saying they made a stupid move?
They made a stupid move. It's like, brother, you have a shop. You are selling everything. I am your customer, right? Will you hand it over that shop to me?
No.
Okay, this is what he's doing. Look, Ethiopia is using the Berbera port to bring their goods, and they are paying the fees that they owe.
Yeah, but in this deal,
hold on. When he gives to a sea, 20 kilometers, and they build their port, do they need a Berbera port? No, they don't.
No, but Somaliland, what they would get in this deal is according to the deal that was put out, they said Somaliland, Ethiopian airline, yeah.
Well, what's Ethiopian airline?
I mean, they are successful.
Look, British Airways. I'm in the UK. What's the status of British Airways? It's the cheapest airline. How was it 10 years ago? You can trade with an airline that is up to date. Tomorrow they will be down. Come on.
After Damas, the geopolitics is that Somalia is inviting Egypt because Egypt has a problem with Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, that's what I said. Yeah. Let's bring in Niger also into this.
What it is I'll tell you another thing, thing. So there is a huge oil reserve in Somalia, right? No one in the big powers that will allow Ethiopia to disturb Somalia stabilization. America will not allow it. Turkey will not allow it. And Egypt, they have interest. If Somalia is stable, 5-6 million of Egyptians will come and work in Somalia. Do you understand? Look, in Egypt, we always have been. Look, when they were fighting with Israel, we were supporting the Egyptian army, the Somali government, right? When we were getting the independent, the Egyptians were supporting us. In 1964, when we were fighting Ethiopia, they attacked us when we had an independent in 1960. We were only 4 years old. they attacked us, right? Egyptian generals were training our armed forces. You understand? We've always been, and there was no issue of the Nile at that time. People are bringing up the Nile River and this and that. Look,
Hold on,
Egypt will not.
Ahmed, let me ask you this. Look at this question here, like this statement. I want to hear your perspective. MS Delta, thank you for the super chat. He said, an Ethiopian port will help the economy of the whole region. I mean, they have the biggest economy there. Do you agree with that statement?
Ethiopian port. Ethiopia cannot have a port.
No, they can have it in order that 20 kilometers.
We will not give them. It's not theirs. Why should they get it? Can we have the dam that they built? Can we say it's us? We belong the dam.
Can I just
let's bring in to Niger.
Let me just Ahmed. Just got one question. Ahmed, you don't want Ethiopia to get a port, or you want them to pay for the port? What's your argument?
We want them to pay for the port. Use the port, but pay for it.
Okay.
Cannot have a port that is theirs. No.
So Ahmed, you are saying it's business.
Business, yes. I allow business, but I will not allow 1 inch of our territory to be taken by Ethiopia. No way. Look.
Okay, let's bring in to Niger.
Look what happened to Latin America, Chile and Uruguay. Uruguay give it just similar what Somaliland is doing. 50 years deal to Chile. Chile took over after the 50 years. They said, "Fuck off. We're not gonna go out. The territory belongs to us." Go and check it out.
But they are renting it just for 50 years.
No, it's a similar deal that Chile did with Uruguay. And what happened when the 50 years ran out? They said, "Fuck off. It's our land," and they have more military than them, and they cannot do nothing today. Go and check it out. You can Google it.
Okay, let's bring in to Niger on this case here. To Niger, are you there? Unmute yourself, to Niger.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem.
You see, this matter gives me trust issues. Greetings to everyone on the panel. The Afrodimos, thank you for having me. And Kifaru, that, and Ahmed. I don't know Ahmed much, but I do know Kifaru and that. So nice to meet you guys here. Some Somali people, some remember, some Somali people are at it again.
To Niger, before you go in, so for instance, you look at it, Ethiopia, it's an African nation, sees himself part of the African, group. Somalia is having issues with Ethiopia, even though they are neighbors. But they ran to Egypt, who is calling Somalia their brother. They said it's an Arab nation. You touch one, you touch all. And, no other Black African country was pulled into this. To Niger, what do you make of that?
Somalia, they always have this knack for acting like enemy of the African continent. At least some of them anyway. I'm not generalizing here, so don't come for me. Because after all, Somaliland is Somalia too. So
it's Egypt. Egypt is calling the president said they are Arab nation. So, but some of you keep saying they are African. I want you to address that.
They are not Arabs. They are not Arabs. But they do have admixture. So
the whole Ethiopian that you are defending now.
No, I'm not defending. We're just having conversation.
No. Look at the history of Somalia and how many countries.
Hold on. Let me finish what I was saying. Let me finish what you can't just jump in and let me finish what I was saying, because I've not even landed on it. And I think Somalia, what they did, and it is not only Egypt they went for, they also went to Turkey and invited Turkey with their warships that they should come and help them with their own neighbor, Ethiopia. This same Somalia, they've had so many problems. I don't see them, when they were having those problems, going out to go and invite people when terrorists and all kinds of people were abusing them. They didn't do that. But the moment their own neighbor, African neighbor, a big nation that is unnaturally landlocked by small nation, wants to have access to the sea, you want to go and bring the enemies of the continent, invite them in.
Okay.
And
What
I
if you
see,
want
hold on. And I also heard the way this Somali official was saying, I think she's a House of Congress member in the US. I need to see how tribal that lady was sounding.
You talking
All
about
the way
Ilhan
from
Omar?
Africa. Yes. She was sounding so tribal. She was talking about this issue, how she was going to do everything to thwart Ethiopia. When you should be looking for a way to reach accommodation with Ethiopia so that Ethiopia can agree to do what they want to do. But these same people are willing to stab Africa in the back just to
you
get
want
their
us
way.
you want us to beg Ethiopia to say, please don't take our territory. We beg you, and cry in front of. What are you talking about?
No, you should reach accommodation with them.
What accommodation? It's our territory.
Because it's in your favor. It's in your favor to have Ethiopia out there. You are a small nation in terms of population. You can't defend your territories there. And when Ethiopia is a big nation in that region, wants to emerge to the sea,
Tunaja. What you are saying, right? Tunaja. Ahmed. Tunaja, you do realize this is the very thing Ahmed have problem with. He said Ethiopia wants to come there and build their naval base, have army on the coastline there, and he said they cannot. They're not gonna allow that to happen.
This is what Nigerians call mumu. Mumu wey wear trouser. That's stupidity that has worn a trouser and put a belt and tightened it.
So you think they should let them?
Hold on. You have Djibouti that is a military based supermarket. You have foreign people from outside Africa having military bases all over the place, including in Somalia. But when, God forbid, an African country tries to do the same to defend themselves, these useless Africans who want to betray fellow Africans and go and bring more foreigners to come and attack fellow Africans. This is crazy thinking. Do you see this kind of the same thing happening in Asian countries or European countries? I don't understand. Somalia is so poor. Things are so bad there that instead of you to be looking to work with your neighbors.
But they are an Arab nation. If they say they are an Arab nation, they said they don't trust Ethiopia. They don't want them in their country like that. What do you say to that?
Okay. The people that this in Somaliland that this Ethiopia negotiated with, they are part of Somalia, and they chose within their territory that we have been operating. They feel like they have been operating autonomously for a very long time. They felt, okay, we can say we like Ethiopia. We can work with them to have access to the sea. I can understand Somalia's reservation. Let's make no mistake. Somalia still sees Somaliland as part of its territory, which is fine. You can do that. But their reaction to it is to bring more foreigners in. I see they don't have enough foreigners in that territory. If you look at the map of that territory, they think they are the ones that carved that map. It was the foreigners that carved that map because they literally, it's like when you see a giant, you tie their hand to their back. That is what is happening there. Ethiopia outnumbers, the population of Ethiopia outnumbers all the neighboring countries put together. And they locked a very tiny piece of land, locked Ethiopia inside. And while all the foreigners are coming to use their waterways to do whatever they like, Somalia doesn't even have the power to control them because they are also in disarray. But the only nation that can probably stabilize our region.
But you said Egypt. If Egypt is African, then they didn't run to foreigners like you're claiming.
Okay, in the case of Egypt, Egypt is looking for every excuse to go after Ethiopia, which is because of the dam that they have there. And Egypt too, that kind of attitude is not helpful. It's threatening another sub-Saharan state. So I think Ethiopians should be seeing they should understand a little bit more than just always reacting so tribally and so divisively.
But these are Arab nations. You don't have you trust that?
I don't know what
they are telling you. They are literally. They are telling you. They are telling you what their nation is, but you are ignoring it.
Okay, did any of the Somali officials go and call themselves Arabs?
Yes.
In Egypt, they did.
Yes.
Oh,
their president.
You see, that's their president said they are Arabs.
They are Arab nation. Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God! You see, you see African
But to Nigeria,
behavior.
that's what we need to accept. I think when people
But
speak,
Tunaja, why don't you want to accept that?
we need to accept them and you treat them for who they are.
No,
You know,
I'm not talking
But
about that.
Tunaja,
That is not my point. I'm looking at
let's look at
because
it
the people
geopolitically. Tunaja,
let me just say
Ethiopia.
this to Nigeria. I cut you short. I see people going on the channel say Egypt is not Arab country. You know, they try to make it very complicated. But this is the thing. I think that's just some basic knowledge. We all know the protagonist of the Pan-Arabism was Abdel Nasser. He was an Egyptian. But that was the guy that carried the Pan-Arabism ideology the biggest. So if he's not an Arab, why is he the one heading Pan-Arabism? So I think we need to stop. We need to stop taking basic knowledge and try to make it like.
I hear what you are saying.
Yeah, so the truth is that those countries are Arab countries. I think it's not an argument.
Culturally, they are Arabs. No, make no mistake. Culturally, they are Arabs, but genetically, most of them aren't. So let's make no mistake.
It's the same thing. When I say Bantu, okay, when that word comes Bantu, you might include people from West Africa. Understand? They are not Bantu. You understand?
See, for me, that it goes beyond that. Even look at
exactly.
the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians that are there are of similar lineage. That no matter how they like to pretend as if they are not similar, they are similar to the Somalis too. So even if you want to say Ethiopians are Somalis are Arabs, then you can also argue that the Somalis, the Ethiopians are, but they are not Muslims.
No, but they don't tell you. Ethiopians don't tell you they're Arabs.
They may not call you themselves Arab because it's associated with Islam. Being Arabic is associated with Islam. That's why Somalis don't say that. But genetically they seem alike. If you look at them, the difference is not as big as you would like to think.
No, to Nigeria, you can't say it's associated to Islam. Nigerians in your country who are Islamic people, do they call themselves Arabs?
Nigerians don't call themselves Arab.
Exactly,
but the nations that call themselves Arab, no, it's true. Nigeria,
so there are black nations that.
No. The nations that call themselves Arabs tend to be Islamic. Am I not correct?
Yeah, so I think there's a similarity among those people that we need to accept. They see themselves.
Kifaru, what does it matter what they try to identify themselves as? Because
betraying their neighbors.
Hold on, because
you said they are betraying who?
Their neighbors.
But Tunaya, didn't you hear what Ahmed said about their history with Ethiopia?
You can have
it's not just that. It's not just that.
Invite other people to come and have influence in your own neighborhood against your
own.
Ahmed,
what do you think about what Tunaya just said?
It's so sad, really, to watch.
Ahmed, are you there?
Just stupid.
Hold on. Is Ahmed there?
No nation state would like to give up a resource area or resource field area. So even if they don't feel that the land is there, so whatever have any affiliation, they will still like to hold on to the land. Like if you look, I'm not sure, but if you look at Mali and all that stuff, the rest is a desert. But right, like the desert people have dwelled there for a long time. But Mali will hold on to that because there's resources there.
The rest of the world is giving Egypt resources to use the Suez Canal. Many parts of the world have they can negotiate parts to do things like the way the Panama this thing what they call it canal.
Panama Canal.
Yeah. You have all these sort of things. To say that Ethiopia doesn't deserve that, it's just some that kind of.
No, I'm not saying Ethiopia doesn't deserve that. But can you understand why Somalia? Can you understand why Somalia would like to hold on to Somaliland as a part of itself?
Somaliland
is a territory. It's a sea territory.
I agree with that. But why did Somalia itself not look to either work with Ethiopia to accomplish the same thing? They did it. If anything, they are doing their best to prevent it from happening.
That's a different story.
Because you don't
bad blood.
Which is a stupid bad blood, because you allow other foreign powers to come to that region to control the waterways, but your biggest muscle in that region, you tie them indoors so that they don't have access to the sea. What kind of, in terms of Nigeria, moo thinking is that?
So, Rashid, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, Rashid, Tuna just said you guys should allow Ethiopia to build their base there. What do you make of that? Because they are your neighbors, you know. Like you would also get protection from outside invasion.
And they're the biggest
First of all,
economic power there.
first of all, I want. First of all, I salute to Niger because he loves Africa. That's for sure. I have also that respect for him. The what I mean, the other, you know, the Ethiopia has no right to go to a region to my region to sign a deal with a failed president also, and also sign a deal with a region of Somalia. I mean, an internationally unrecognized state. So it's not Somali government don't accept that. So didn't accept that. And but if they want business, Somalia is open for business. They can have they can use our ports and we charge them fees and all that. That's many countries do that. How many countries? Rwanda does not have a sea, but they use other countries to export and import. They can use that. But this crazy prime minister, he's trying to go there and open a military base and all this. It's like a dream. So the reason why Somalia went to Turkey and Egypt, because African Union failed us. We wrote a letter to African Union, and they haven't done anything to solve the problem. And it's not our problem. It's Ethiopia who's causing the problem. We're not causing the problem. They are the one. So they try to bring a maritime kind of
So, but the people they went to are not going to solve the problem. They are just going to undermine the region even further. They are just going to come, yeah, maybe even have a chance now to destroy the the dam that Ethiopia is building. You are inviting weakness to your region, and the truth is that there are many military bases in that region that are not African. And I said it here
but
before.
there's no military base in Somalia.
I think actually there is. If there's no military
they
base,
can
but
open a base in Djibouti if they want, because Djibouti invites all the military.
your president invited them on the very first day he was sworn into office. He invited Americans in. So I don't know whether they have a military base, but American soldiers are in your country.
Okay. America actually are helping us.
Somalia is right now building
America,
a new
hold on, let me
base for
answer
the
that.
United States.
Let me answer that.
Imagine that.
Okay, America is helping us on the terrorism, area. They help us fight against the terrorist groups.
Yeah.
So that's what we invite Americans to help us. But Ethiopia is another issue. They just want to grab our land. They want to grab part of the land.
But they are not grabbing it. You don't even
Rashid brought a good point here. I mean, there's no argument. He said they are open to having them, but they just gotta pay, just like the other landlocked countries are paying.
Okay.
He's like, sure, we'll let you come and receive your goods, but you would have to pay us. You gotta come through us.
They don't want to pay money.
And therefore, like Ethiopia is trying to cut a deal with a breakaway region, and in a way, like that's going to create instability.
What they are not doing for Ethiopia is that they are not giving it. If they said, because after all, Ethiopia is paying Somaliland, they are looking to pay Somaliland. If they had said, okay, we'll give you this strip of land, you have access, this is yours, you have access
to the Ethiopian airline.
You give it to them, you have access to the ocean, then they pay them. But what they want is they want Somalia to be paying them on this thing. Somalia shouldn't have its own.
No, Somalia said they don't want to be paid in no concession from Ethiopian airline. They said they want cash.
Yeah, but it's still concession is cash in real terms.
No, it's Somalians. Somalia said no. They said they want cash. I mean, that's a tough one here.
I think they want.
Somalia doesn't want
they
money.
don't want them to have access to the sea.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying literally coming making it to rain, but you gotta pay to access.
They want them to be transported.
But this is the thing. Somaliland sees himself like a sovereign nation. They see themselves as they're self-governed. They see themselves as a nation. So I don't think you're going to stop them from doing a deal with Ethiopia. Because to them that
Well,
is
it looks like they stopped it.
Who stopped it?
The Somalians.
No, they can't. They can't.
They can't stop it. See, I don't really think, because Somalia, what I heard from the news, Somaliland, Ethiopia is going to recognize Somaliland as a sovereign nation.
Yes, they've changed. They've since walked. They've walked that back.
Afrodemus, something I want to.
So it means the deal is cancelled. So the deal is cancelled.
Well, on the surface, I haven't seen any proof that it's cancelled, to be honest.
Yeah.
So until if somebody has any information on that, all I know was Ethiopia came and said, no, they're not doing it to recognize Somaliland, but I haven't seen anything to show.
How can Somalia stop
Somaliland
Turkey
getting involved
doing
in this
that deal with Ethiopia? Do you have the power, the potential to stop them? Can you do that?
Let me read the headline. I say the headline says Somalia announces deal with Turkey to deter Ethiopia access to the sea through a breakaway region. This is kind of mumu thinking. You are preventing your most powerful region in that area having access to the sea, so that it will actually
the Somalis don't trust. They don't trust Ethiopia.
They trust Turkish people.
It looks like they do.
Find out the hard way sooner or later.
Okay, let's bring in DG. DG, go ahead, DG, before we close out here. DG, are you there? Duale, are you there?
I think I heard the sound.
I can't hear Duale. Okay, guys, let's do our closing statements here. Let's start with you, Dart. Go ahead, Dart.
Oh, well, it's yes, I heard that Somalia is getting Turkey involved as well, and Egypt involved. As I said, Egypt obviously have vested interest in making sure that dam doesn't work as well, and so they intend to create a situation where they could have an excuse to blow it up, if that's what's going to occur as well. Ethiopia is not in the position to be having multiple fronts, in terms of warfare, to have multiple fronts as well. So, but at the same time, Somaliland is kind of potent enough to kind of keep at bay Somalia, but Somalia is getting involved. Somalians have been blaming Ethiopians about getting foreigners involved in wars they've been about and all that. But now it seems like the Somalians are the other ones bringing foreigners in and all that kind of stuff. Either way, I think they just need to get over it and get over the tribalism that they've been fighting for a long time and realize they are regional partners. And they need to work together to make sure they develop the region, because inviting all these is just not going to work. They need dialogue. They need to consult.
All right. Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Hold
on. All right, Kifaru. Go ahead, Kifaru.
Yeah, I think it's a very complex situation, and because at this present moment, Somaliland sees themselves as a sovereign nation, and they're trying to make a deal with Ethiopia. If Somali by itself cannot stop Somaliland from making that deal with Ethiopia, with Ethiopia, then it's going to be really complex for them. So I think they need to look for a better deal. They need to talk with Ethiopia, and sometimes you need to sacrifice, because the way I see Ethiopia don't need them. Ethiopia don't need Somali. They can just do their deals trade with Somaliland, and no one is going to come to help Somalia. All this affiliation with Arab League, the African Union, no one is interested in fighting for a war.
Okay, Kivaro, let me ask you a question before you go.
No, he's doing his closing.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Kivaro.
So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Tunaja, closing statement.
Yeah, the kind of stuff we see from Somalia is a very, very toxic tribal behavior that they've used to destroy their country by and large. And they are willing to cut their nose to spite their face. They can't even think. Some of these leaders can't think strategically. They allow foreigners to have access to that region freely. The foreigners can sail through. As a matter of fact, Americans are there shooting missiles left and right. The biggest boy in that region cannot come out. Somalia, they fought themselves to a standstill. The Mumu people again, the Mumu leaders of Somalia, then go and bring more foreigners in to come and throw missiles in the area. What kind of stupidity is that of the highest kind? And this is the kind of mistake we've been making for decades, for centuries. And now you go, because African Union didn't give you the result you want, you run to go and get foreigners into the continent to come and give you what? Look at your country. If the foreigners like you so much, why is your country like that? Of course, they love foreigners. And that kind of thinking, I think it's not about love of foreigners, really. Somalis are extremely tribal people. It's completely unreasonable. They can't, at least not, okay, let me rein it back. I think I'm generalizing there.
Well,
Whenever you,
Rashid
yeah,
is tribal.
whenever you
Rashid,
generalize,
no, Rashid said they are tribal, though. You will be
but
correct too,
yeah,
Niger.
no, I think some of them take it to a different level, a toxic level. To be tribal is not necessarily a bad thing. You can cherish your tribe and cherish your customs and all the rest. When you take it to a level where you can't even make strategic sense anymore, that is where you are wrong. Because it's almost like, if don't you think that if China didn't exist in Asia, that area will be poorer for it? If India didn't exist there, Bangladesh and all the others will be poorer for it. Because the regions that have the biggest power, if that big power in that region is manifesting its power, that region does better. But no, these leaders in Somalia, some of them can't see that. The ones in Djibouti can't see that. They happily imprison the most powerful nation in that region, and the people that help them do it are their haters that created the UN and that created the nation states. The people that made sure you never progress are the ones that created those things, and you want to keep that same cage in place. And
Thank you
you do
very
everything
much,
to do
Tuna.
that, and you go and get foreigners to also help you, support you doing the same toxic behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. That was too, Niger. All right, Rashid, closing statement.
Okay, for Davos, people are talking here and there. They don't understand real story in Somalia. Now
Mhm.
Somalia went to to Turkey because of African Union fail us. They didn't
Yeah.
intervene. They didn't do anything. So that's why Somalia went to Turkey, and Turkey see this as an also as an advantage. So they took it
But why
opportunity
didn't
as
you
an
go to
opportunity.
your best friends, Kenya?
Kenya, they didn't help. They didn't intervene. They didn't do anything. Although we are part of.
They didn't help. They didn't help Somalia, but they want to go all the way to Haiti and help them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely you're right. If they come and
It's
intervene,
terrible.
we will never need to go to Egypt. We will never need to go to Turkey. All that. If the African Union or Kenya or other country come to intervene, they never did that. So we have to. There's nothing called Arab countries and Arab region.
Oh
You
no,
know,
there is. I mean, I'm with you up till that point. No, there is
yeah,
actually
this is
Arab countries, sir.
yeah. Do you
There
think an
is the
Arab guy
Arab
will?
League.
Do you think and Saudi
There's
guy will?
nothing. Look, look. There's nothing wrong in being an Arab or being in the Arab League.
Okay,
But it's just look. I don't know why people think that's a bad thing. Look, if you're in the Arab
no, no,
League,
no.
I just want the black factory people to understand. That's all. But
Fadamas,
continue.
you are my brother. I respect you. And
Right.
so, we know what happened. You see, now do you think the Saudi guy will die in Somalia? Do you think
Who?
that will never happen? Saudi guy or guy from
Well,
the
Saudi
our
don't even fight their own war. They hire people for that. So
you see the worst now people for us who are really helping Shabab and all destroying our country is the Arab countries. It's Emirati, United Arab Emirates is one of it, who destroying Somalia, who helping the other side, who are really who are now siding with Ethiopia. It's the United Arab Emirates. Imagine they are Arab country. They are member of the Arab League.
well, you
And
guys are too.
yeah, so this thing Arab is not there. We are Arab Union just
Well,
for
Egypt, Al Sisi gave some. Are you saying Al Sisi? He gave strong word. He gave you guys his assurance.
because
Don't spit in his
uh,
face.
yeah, because he's his own interest because of the dam. That's what.
Well, I mean, everyone's got an interest, sir.
Yeah, he got his own interest. So now,
Yeah.
look at Firdaus, my brother. Look, Somalia has a lot of oil. Now you can Google, you can see it. Somalia has huge potential of oil. Now we make a deal with Turkey, not only for the to secure the our sea coast. Not only that, it's involved also economy. We sign deal with the business. So now they're gonna drill our oil and also help us fight with the terrorism. And then I also have will fight. We'll also train our naval our naval forces. So this is a great opportunity for Somalis too today. So this guy, Ethiopian guy, he made a big mistake because he could easily sign deal with the government of Somalia to use our ports, and we don't. Somalia doesn't say no to that. We can make a deal, and we will be a good neighbors.
Yeah, well, they made a deal with Somaliland.
But because look, for them, my brother, look, he saw that Somalia is a weak country now. Is this, so I can just go there and grab their land. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
He just say, "Oh, Somalia now they cannot defend themselves. They are problem here and there. They have clan issues and that problems, and they can just go and grab it." So I want just to respond to Niger. Somalia is not a problem with the tribe. We don't have like the tribe you have in Nigeria,
Well,
like
Rashid,
Igbo and
to be fair
Yoruba
to
and all that.
Niger, you did the way you said it. I mean, even minority don't have a say, so that's a problem.
So is he a
In
minority?
Somalia. Well, you said that's how you guys roll.
Yes. Look, the world rule that, not me, not only Somalia. The world even do that. Who's ruling America? The majority. That's democracy. Democracy, the majority rules. So this
America is not a democracy.
no, it's democracy. America is democracy.
It's a republic, but that's
It's
a
a
whole
republic. But
different
what's
topic.
the constitution? What's the constitution?
Well,
It's
a
democracy.
republic. If
The system is
they
not socialist.
well,
It's not a
if
socialist.
they can come up with something and debate it all, and the president can veto it.
Yeah, but yes, but
So yeah.
so what I mean, the majority always vote, right, and win the elections. That they,
Yeah,
whatever
they vote for their representative.
representative. Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's a
That's why you
representative
have.
democracy. So, but obviously that would not work in Somalia, according to you, because if you're from a minority group, you do not even have a voice.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Because majority will
so
rule.
you cannot practice that.
Yeah, majority will rule. Majority
Well,
always rules.
okay,
The minority
well,
will get a protection. Every country is like that. Minority always get protection, but the majority rules, and that's fair. Also, that's fair enough. It's fair. So majority will rule now for South Africa. The white is minority, right? And the majority is the South African black South Africans. So do you think the minority, if the minority rules, is not fair? So the majority will rule, and then the white minority will have their own. They have their own rights also. So that's why in America I'm a minority, but I have my own rights in America. I can say something, but it's limited. I can say whatever I want, but I have also my limitation. So always,
everyone's got a limitation.
yes. So America, white are the majority. That's why they rule.
It's
That's
not
why they are
about
in the
being a
Senate.
minority or majority. It's just most prosperous countries operated like that. They don't say, "Oh, you are from the minority group. You don't get to speak." Even African nations are not like that. They are more and more, moving away from that. But thank you very much, Rashid.
Thank you, Fradamus. It's been a great
Already.
show. Thank
Okay. All right, guys. That was Rashid. I know I told you guys I was going to, shut the conversation down a while ago, but you gotta admit, great conversation. The conversation was great. Rashid brought his point. Everyone, to Niger, Kifaru, and all the other callers. Thank you for calling in. You guys have to realize, like, some of you think you are debating against me. No, I'm here to bring you exactly what is out there. I don't operate in terms of what I wish things were going to be. No, I deal with it according to how it is exactly. So yeah, this is not the first time some of you learning that Somalia is part of the Arab League. And I put emphasis there because some people get upset and I don't get it. Look, I've been thinking this whole even border thing, all these nations are practicing systems that was handed to them by these different countries. This is why you are seeing all these little breakaway regions trying to fight to be independent, because this experiment, this nationhood experiments, it doesn't favor some groups somehow they just can't, get this to work. I mean, maybe most of us in the modern world are making it work. We're recognizing each other as humans, and but obviously in the Horn of Africa, it's not like that. There is ethnic tension. There is land. In fact, I read a book a while ago. They did mention that the next big wars would be over about water and coastline. And guess which areas they showed where these wars are going to be fought at? You guessed it right, around that region. So hopefully, just hopefully, they can find, an agreement so that Somalia can eventually be independent again. Hopefully, they can come together, form their union, and work something out with Ethiopia. So we don't want them to use force. And someone tell Al-Sisi in Egypt to just chill. He doesn't need to flex. Talking about Ethiopia, I don't want to test them. This has absolutely nothing to do with Egypt. So can someone please get that message to Al-Sisi, the president of Egypt? We would highly appreciate that. Until next time, I'm your host, Afridamus. I stayed a little bit longer because, again, the conversation, I was enjoying it. And I hope you did too. Peace.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up, double cup and I'm pulled up.